Shut up and sit down.
Bink. There you go. Hello, gang. Colin here. Festa 67's workshop. He's off already, isn't he? Look at him. Yeah, Guffhorn's in tonight as me co-host. I should have changed his banner. I don't know where Fox is, but Guffhorn's in charge tonight. So hello, gang, anyway.
Hello.
Welcome to the fun-filled Friday Frolic, the alternative coronation shows that you'll be getting off of me and him over this weekend if you don't fancy watching an overprivileged man being dragged around in a gold carriage, folks.
I shall be not watching that. I was hoping to do lots of streaming tomorrow, and I'm not going to be able to now. Damn it.
Yeah. Are we not doing a Warhammer Saturday tomorrow, geez?
Oh, no, yes, we are, yes. Apart from that, yes. I meant during the day. But
yeah. What was going on? Pimpage. Yes, if you'd like to help support the channel. I forgot to do my typey pimpage because I got distracted. Yeah, support this channel by heading over to patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, or click the join button below, or you can click the $ just below the YouTube chat there and put in a super chat. It all goes in a big pot and helps keep all of this alive. Paid for and the content coming, folks. So yeah, it helps me out no end. And you can do the same for Guffhorn by heading over to youtube.com/@Guffhorn. See what I did?
Hey.
Oh yeah, Guru Fox.
Don't give him money, he'll just put it.
Yeah, the minute he thought he was going to lose 50p, then he's like, whoa.
Don't give it to Guffhorn, he'll spend it on.
Joining the channel will give you access to the Zoom 24/7 off-air hangout, and also if you've got a webcam and a mic, it gives you access to the Sunday shows where you can come and join me and the gang when we go live on a Sunday. And talking about important people and the people that matter. Let's have a quick gander at the chatkins and see who we've got in. We have got Marcus. Marcus is in, says, evening, Colin and Fox and all in chat. Hello, Marcus. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing all right. Retro Rabbit Studios is in, says, hello, Festa. Hello, Marcus. He don't say hello to you, though, mate.
I am without, basically.
Do you want to hug it? Do you want to hug it out?
No.
No.
Too sad now.
You're too sad
for hugs now.
Yeah,
too sad for hugs now.
Well, smallest violin or walking away music?
I can't quite reach the world's smallest violin, so
walking away music.
Yeah.
JC's in, says, evening, Colin Fox, all in chat, Festa and Fox hugs. There you go, you got a hug off James.
Excellent. I'm going to have to step away. I told you about this.
Don't worry, mate. You do what you got to do, mate. I'm just going to read the chat out. Yep. Okay. John Alex in, says, hello, friends. He says, happy Friday. Hello, John. How you doing, mate? Marcus is in, says, hi, Retro. James and John, big smiley faces. Guru says, a Grimbley in ending parts, a little peeps. There you go. PJ's put in, hi, Colin, our one true and rightful king. Could you imagine if it was me going to be crowned tomorrow? The chaos I'd cause. World leaders were getting, I can't believe this bloke. It'd be a laugh, wouldn't it? He says, Guffhorn, Fox, Orbison, and everyone in chat. Many huggings to you all. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing all right, PJ. Big hugs in a manly way. Everyone's saying hello to PJ, who's saying hello to everyone back. Retro says, hi to anyone missed or just arrived. Marcus says, hi to PJ. Jeff is in. He says, hi, Cole, Fox, and everyone in chat. Love to you and Maggie, mate. As PJ says as well, evening, Maggie and Jeff. Retro says, Model Making Guru wasn't in the chat at the beginning. I even checked the list. Yeah, he let you down there, Retro, didn't he, mate? And Marcus is saying hi to Jeff. So, folks, what are your plans on this coronation weekend? Are any of you watching it? Are you intrigued? I mean, don't get me wrong, I think we're very good at all the pomp and pageantry, but I just can't relate to the guy, and I don't know what it is. I think a lot of us think it would have been the honourable thing if he had deferred it to William. I think a younger generation monarchy would have worked a bit better. What am I building tonight, I hear you all ask? I am catching up on all my little builds. I'm going to be doing an EndrinMaster with dirigible suit to go with this little thing I built last time. the old gun hauler there. So that's going to go with that. But what I can do, I don't know whether Paul Lyons is in, but his car of shininess is beginning to take shape. It's had a clear coat now. So it's in its container of keep everything dust free and shiny, but it's all coming together quite nicely in there, folks. So I'll just let that vent a bit more. So yeah, so then that's going to have the decals put in. So yeah, and what that is on the front, for those that don't know, is that's a heater similar to what my 3D printer heater is. And this regulates the temperature inside this little box, because this room sometimes temperature can drop at night. So I switch this on and it just regulates with a timer and a temperature sensor that you can see stuck to the side, and it keeps this at a constant temperature whilst things are drying. So
I'm back.
But the shiny car is looking rather splendid, as you can see. Look. Whoa! Ooh. And it's not been polished yet, because obviously I've got decals to go on, and then I shall put another quick clear coat over the top of them. So for those that have asked, that is the progress on said shiny car.
I have to say, that red and white, that red and white scheme looks just so 1950s.
Yeah, it's a 1955 car, mate.
I know, so I mean, it's just such a classic sort of. It's just so iconically 1950s.
Such a classic Americana look, isn't it? Oh, Americana look. Oh, cut me with me.
Achtung, Americana.
Me posh.
So
yeah, that's what we're up to on the car. The bike, I've just got a couple of little bits to add to it. It's just here. So I've got a couple of little bits of detail, bolt heads and things to add to that, and then edit all the videos, and they'll all get released as a complete series on Patreon for the patrons and the channel members first. So I want to edit them all and then put the whole lot up at once. Other than that, what else have I got that I can show you? Pretty much nothing
all the
now.
things.
Yeah. So anyway, now that Fox is back, what are you building tonight, mate?
I am going to finish, hopefully, building my squad of 5 flash kits, because I'm thoroughly bored of them now.
Yeah.
I've got 5 more to do, but I've got other things I want to build, and I'm like, these have taken so many weeks. I'm like, I just need to get this built now. I'm bored of them. I want to do the metal Steel Legion dudes.
Jeff has echoed my sentiments. He says, not watching it. I just can't gel with him. I can't. I never have. It's, not that I hate the man. I don't, because hate is a strong word, but I just can't relate to him. Whereas I think with what the country's been through, it would have been better if he had deferred it to the younger generation. It's just my personal opinion, but
I've just got no interest at all.
I'm not a Republican, because we would have had President Johnson and President Truss. So I think something needs to be there as a head of state. Quite what, I don't know. That's a big debate that I'm not going to get into.
No. No, I'm just not interested at all. Couldn't care less.
Yeah.
It seems a bit tone deaf given the current state of society. But
yeah. Well, there's a cost of living crisis on at the moment, and I think spending all this money and watching someone being dragged around in a solid gold carriage whilst everyone else is brassic lint and veterans are on the streets. I think it's in poor taste at the moment.
It's poorly timed and not really. It's tone deaf. It's not.
I think he could have delayed it for 12 months. If he had come out and said, do you know something? The country's a bit skint.
Let's just leave it for a while.
Let's just leave it for 12 months. Let the government spend that money on helping people with their fuel bills, and then we'll see about it. Or better still, use some of these billions that he's got in the bank to pay for it. I think people would have respected that.
Yeah.
But we're getting political. It's a model show. It's
making the models now. Making the models.
Yeah. We're trying to behave, aren't we?
I thought I'd taken a chunk out of this piece of plastic here, but it's actually designed to have all these dings in it.
Yeah.
It's moulded in dents. I'm a spoon.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, how are you, Festa? How have you been, my friend?
I've been all right, mate. Yeah, I can't believe how quick this week's gone. I had so much planned this week, and you know,
as did we all.
Yeah, a few bits and pieces that are done. I'm currently in the process of destroying my paint rack that I had behind me because my door is now naked at the moment because, yeah.
Madam.
I'm going to be changing the door hopefully this week. And then I can start getting that back up together. Sorry?
Are you saying that your liminal space is unclothed? Yeah,
it's a little bit Ace Robinson again in here at the moment, but it was one of those, it had been on my mind for many months that I needed to look at my storage because I've been having to put paints in drawers and I'm forever looking for them and different sets, and I thought I need to put a bigger paint rack in. So it's now going to take up the whole door, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, I might as well put the new door on and get that finished because I'm not worried about my side of the door, but the other side will blend in well with the kitchen, see? So
it was required.
Yeah. And I've had the door for about 4.5 years, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I will get round to hanging it.
Eventually I'll get round to hanging it, eventually.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So that will give me a lot more storage. Currently, my paint rack, it's about 5.5 foot tall. I don't want to go any higher than that at the moment because for me to get the paints, I need to be able to just drop the piston on my chair, spin round and be able to reach the bottom shelf without falling out my chair. So
yeah,
there's no point in going right to the floor because I ain't going to be able to get the paint out.
That's the one big pain that I've got with my chair at the minute. I got myself a gaming chair a while ago. It's really comfortable.
Yeah.
But to actually get to the thing behind me to lower and raise it,
yeah,
it's hard to get to, and you can't. If you want to raise the chair, you basically have to stand up.
Yeah,
out of the seat so it can push up. It's like,
yeah, it's a bit of a, yeah.
You can't just sit in the chair and go up and down like on my old chair. You have to actually do some gymnastics.
Yeah, it's not
very comfortable though. It's very comfortable. But as I'm not sponsored by them or paid by them, I'm not going to tell you who makes it.
You're so mercenary, aren't you?
Yeah. If they want me to pimp their chair, which is very good, give me some money.
Yeah. Give me the money. Don't know what that was. I won't do it again.
I don't pimp anything unless it's for money.
What have we got? Retro says he's got a bit of gardening to do as well as a shed to build. Yeah, I've still got my shed to put up. My lads are gonna help me with that. So,
gentlemen, build your
my
sheds.
sister's arriving from Vancouver, he says, on Sunday night. Coro, what now? There's a king I didn't vote for him. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. It's one of those, you know, we've had monarchy for years and years and years. I don't know whether this country would work as a republic. I don't know.
Absolutely would. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not doing politics and stuff, but they're not actually really. They're more of a figurehead for business. It's not really anything else.
It's almost a ceremonial thing now, where all the other heads of state like to be glad ragged by the king or the late queen, and so that's probably the biggest thing that it brings. But
it's just a ceremonial thing. If they were to all vanish today, this country would just carry on regardless.
Yeah, I do think that they could bear a lot more of the cost themselves, and I certainly don't see why we should pay for people like Prince Andrew. Less said the better, but you know why I mean that.
Yeah, I know why. Absolutely agree. Yeah, I think if I mean. See, we are what is it? A constitutional monarchy, which means basically it's a monarchy with no power, and we're a republic underneath it.
Yeah.
If you took them away today, we'd just be the same as we are now.
Well,
we'd just be exactly the same.
You know, the absolute monarchy went out with Cromwell, didn't it? And all of that, and it never really regained its oomph, did it? But
well, it's just we're no longer stupid enough to believe that they're ordained by God. No, not really.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah, you don't want to get on the religion, Fox.
No. But we're not a dumb populace that just works in we're not all serfs and villeins anymore that do what we're told. So it's just, there's no point. It's pointless. We do perfectly fine without them. Thank you.
Trouble is, though, is if we'd had President Boris, you think about it, President Blair. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, at the end of the day, though, that's just a title.
Yeah.
It would be nice to actually have a constitution, I think. because then we could actually enshrine the rights of the people in a constitution. We don't have that at the minute.
I envy the Americans for that, because they've got their Declaration of Independence and all of their constitutional things. And I think that's a great set of, I wouldn't say rules, guidelines. You know what I mean? And I think this country would, I think it needs to modernise. That's the thing. I think massively needs to modernise. And I don't think that'll happen with Charles, because he is so stuffy and Victorian. And I think William would have been able to perhaps push that modernisation through.
Well, again, I don't think they really have enough powers to do anything, because at the end of the day, everything comes through government. So that's where, if we had a constitution, it would actually set how government works permanently.
I think we should put you in charge. You know, we wouldn't have a king or a queen, we'd have a princess, but I think it would do well.
Right. Princess, I'd do that.
I could just imagine you going down the Mall in your carriage doing the royal wave with guffaws and sellotape to your shoulder.
I'd be like, where's all the unicorns? Somebody told me there'd be unicorns.
And he'd be going, like and subscribe, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Welcome to Britain.com.
There'll be a sticker on the side of the gold carriage. You can support me by heading over to patreon.com/modelmaking guru. Yeah.
Big sticker on the bumper of my carriage saying, my other car is also ridiculously ornate.
You'd have a shark mouth down the side of it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I get rid of all that gold nonsense. That's for girlies.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you, you can't beat a bit of gold, mate. A bit of gold looks nice, mate. I like a bit of gold.
Yeah, but not like they've got it.
See what I was doing.
Because that takes bling and just makes it even more like beyond scrunch perm palm tree territory.
I mean, H was going to go and watch it, and then in the end she was like, do you know something? I can't be bothered. Good girl.
It does nothing
she wanted
for
me to go with her, and I was like, I can't be dragged around London, not on the day like that.
No.
I said, to be honest with you, I really don't like the man.
It's of no relevance to your interests, so... This is going to leave him with a dirty, great big gap on this guy's arm.
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap.
Yeah.
Well, after all my fettling last week, when I finally glue this guy's arm on, there'll be a dirty, great big gap at his shoulder. Fantastic.
You're not having much luck with your building. You're not on shot, mate. You're just a little bit off shot there, mate.
There we go. Yes, I'm not with these guys.
So the folks can see what you're doing. If we do go off shot, folks, just let us know, because obviously I'm looking at me chat there and me bench, so I can't see the monitor unless I lean right back. But if we do go off shot at all, just let us know in the chat. We don't mind. We try not to. We normally have little markers on our mats that we go by, but we don't always get it right.
We have little markers on our mats and we still just get it wrong, because it's just how it works.
Because we're useless, dude.
Yeah. Because every model maker knows that when you work on a workbench, you work at like the first 3 inches of the workbench from your chest.
Yes.
Whether you're on telly or not, you still just use that first 3 inches. So.
Absolutely. I end up with the same A4 bit of cutting mat, mate. Yeah.
I shall now build the final of these 5 flash kits, and then I'm going to put them in a thing, and then I'm going to just stop and not do the other 5 for a while.
Hold up a minute. Are you saying you've nearly done your dudes?
No, I've got one more dude to do. That'll take me a whole show.
Yeah. Jeff says Chairman Fox. Lord, no. Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
Retro says, strange women lying in ponds distributed swords is no basis for a system of government. Exactly, mate.
Well, that's actually made up nonsense. But
I think people, when they see this tomorrow, because obviously, the last coronation's an old black and white footage of the late Queen being crowned. But I think people are going to see it tomorrow and realise what a load of bollocks it is. I'm sorry, but it is. And yeah, I think it might disrupt or change people's opinions somewhat.
I think that I would hazard a guess that most of the British public don't actually care.
They don't. Most people I've spoken to are not watching, mate.
Yep. The only people that really care about it are the Daily Mail readers, and they're all old anyway, so we don't.
We don't worry about the Daily Mail readers,
Telegraph
do we?
readers.
They're not exactly relevant, are they?
No. So
this is where everyone in the chat now says they read the Daily Mail. We're going to look really bad, aren't we?
Well, we would do, but then that means they're all Daily Mail readers, so it's all right.
A unique breed.
Certainly unique is the word. Got to glue his little iron sight on. I forgot to do that. Oh joy, I get to glue an iron sight on. That's always fun.
He's got his boats. He's got his boats and he's got his legs. I'm doing well.
Has he got his clothes and his motorcycle?
What are we doing? We're 21 minutes in and I've got half my do bill.
I told you it'd take like 5 minutes.
It's all right.
Told you.
He said to me, what are you going to do for the other 1.5 hours on your show then, mate? I said, I'll be fine.
The simple solution is to do more cleanup. Clean him up more.
Yeah, he's got no seams on it.
Has he not?
No. And it's got like, there's only one across the top of his boat and I got rid of that. Stop being overly critical, you.
I'm not. I'm just trying to think of things you can do to get more mileage out of it.
You already know that I'm going to be battling with that one over there. You already know that. So that ball went live. He's mocking me, folks. He's trying to goad me.
Goad.
That's what he does.
Goad your wrist. Goad your wrist.
You try to wind me up. Don't forget, folks, belly, bench and a beverage. What is on your bench? What is in your belly? What is your beverage of choice?
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Meanwhile, back on the little modelling frolic show, exactly, mate. Belly, cheese on toast, bench, the tear down of the Destiny spacecraft from Stargate universe has ended and the detailed build-up has begun, and beverage is extra strong tea. This is a build, folks, that I've been privileged to see develop in the Hangout on the Zoom 24/7, which you can get access to by going over and joining my channel or becoming a Patreon. See what I did?
See what we did there.
But yeah, and this is going to be, I think, a really interesting build when people start seeing what's going on with it. A lot of work in the background with getting things to fit. You know, it's a bit of a garage kit and all of that lot. And he's really having to own ye oldie skills of scratch buildery and all of that lot. But I think the end result is going to be something very special.
You're very special.
And dare I say it, I'm not putting PJ under any pressure, but I think it's going to be better than his Eagle Transporter build.
Ooh.
Whoa. He's now going, dude, why have you just done that to me? Paul D. Tomato's in. He says, hello. Good to see you all. Hello. Love to you and Dawn.
Hey, Paul. He's certainly got more of a challenge ahead of him because the Eagle Transporter was, 1/48 scale?
Yeah.
The Destiny is like it's many kilometres long, the ship. So it's one of those models where you can't just do normal weathering techniques because you can't do a streak because a streak will be like 1,000 feet long. So you'd be like, he's going to have a challenge on his hands to weather it without making it.
It's a big kit, mate. It's a proper bench filler. And I was chatting to him last night in the Hangout and asking him how the progress is going. And it's one of those, it's poorly moulded. They've done a mirror of the right to the left-hand side. So there's detail on the left that shouldn't be there. So he's had to take all of that off. And then obviously the fitment isn't the greatest. So
fitment. Yeah,
he's done a lot of work on it. But I think it's going to be, going to be, you know, up there with his top builds, mate. So
that's kind of in a way, the sort of fun/challenge with garage kits, because it was never given a mainstream release, the Destiny.
No.
Things for like, there were no official there were never any official Stargate models. I've got a little tiny Teltac, the little cargo ship that was a 3D print I bought off Shapeways. Because there was a resin kit that somebody made, but that disappeared a long time ago. Yeah, sadly. So so you're kind of lumbered with.
And he's going to light it up as well. So I think it's going to be something seriously sexy, to be honest with you, mate.
It's going to be along the lines of like how do you weather a Star Destroyer? It's like, how do you do that without making it look weird?
And he's agreed to do the entirety of the build while wearing gold hot pants, which I think is very, very good of him. You know, I think
it's quite noble of him, that.
Yeah, you know, and I was like, well, you know, good luck to you, mate. Just be careful how you sit down because you don't want to garrot yourself.
Yeah, you don't want to sit down in that get up for too long.
Yeah, so he's going to sit there doing the entire build whilst wearing Kylie Minogue style gold hot pants.
You should be so lucky.
Wendy Hickson with an H is in. She says, hugs everyone. Just popped
Wendy.
in to put a like. Sorry I can't stay. Take care and look after yourselves. Always lovely to see you, Wendy. You take care, darling.
Take care,
and
Wendy.
you're going to get about 6 episodes of the bike going up all at once shortly, darling. So keep an eye out for them.
All right.
I just need to pull my thumb out my bum and get me voiceovers done.
Voiceover. La, 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 la. I like doing voiceovers.
Yeah.
I'll do some voiceover work tomorrow.
Bit of gorilla butt, but hey, you know, don't mind.
Gorilla butt.
Everyone's saying hello to Wendy. Oh, it's always nice to see Wendy.
Yep. Aye.
Been a very loyal supporter of ours over the years, and yeah,
Absolutely. She's been around for ages on our memberships and patrons and stuff, hasn't she?
Yeah. I think she was one of my earliest supporters.
Without sounding rude, she's one of the old guard.
Yeah.
Not saying she's old. I just mean
Which,
she's
considering being the fact that she's very, very young, I think is very good of her.
Mm.
See what I did there? I redeemed myself. I've left you under the bus.
I like this. This suspension system is most efficacious to my health.
Bin that Wendy is in. There you go, Wendy. It's getting there.
Ooh.
And it's all got carbon fibre decals on the frame, the mud guard and all of that. Like the wing mirrors have even carboned. Yeah, so.
Oh, the fibre. So many.
Yeah, you'll see it a lot more detail in the videos, but.
Yeah.
Also, folks, audio and video. Audio going out all right and video coming through okay. So if you could let us know whether it's nice and clear and all of that. Not there is a reason which we're not going to go into, but yeah.
Yeah.
But we're just keen to see whether or not you're getting good audio and video.
Yes, I'm cutting off the sprue, but I'm doing it all off camera.
PJ says, oh, no, he effing well isn't. Yeah, apparently you are, mate. I'll look forward to it. You know, I don't know how you're going to get on with the tassel T-shirt, mate, because I think that'll get in the way when you're gluing the resin together. But I think you'll be all right.
I dread to think where I actually had to buy the Lame pants from and exactly what is Amazon history looks like now. Dear Lord.
Yeah. I think he already had them, mate. I think he's already
Wait,
had
who's
that.
Adam? What?
Yeah. So I see what you did.
You see what I did there?
I did.
You're impressed, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. He says...
So fast.
What else he's got? So no pressure then, he says. Thanks for that, Cole. No, honestly, PJ, I don't mean to put you under any pressure. It's just
yes, he does.
I saw your enthusiasm last night in the hangout and how your thought process was going. And it's one of them I think's right up your street. And I think you really will fall in love with that kit. And when you do that, that's when your best work comes out, innit? You know, we all like it. You know, you fall in love with a build, don't you? And you put your heart and soul into it.
He saw your enthusiasm and immediately thought of you in hot pants.
I did.
Make of that, pass that statement however you will.
I didn't sleep well last night, you might have noticed.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that, but yes.
Yeah. But no, I think it is going to be a beautiful build to see. I'm certainly looking forward to it. And
yeah.
Just means I have to watch the TV show to know what the actual ship is, but we all know what it's like when I put things on the list.
Watching TV shows, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
How is this even a thing that can happen?
No.
Is this kind of thing even possible?
Yeah,
I do not know.
Tempting fate, but have you had any dispatch emails yet? Not that I can go into why.
No, not yet.
Oh, damn it.
I know, nothing.
We are both so excited.
I know. You even sent me a news article today about something relative, and I'm like, oh, you're looking up things about that. You're looking up things about this. I see.
Yeah.
You're getting down another hole.
I know, you're wicked. You are a git to me, you really are.
Je suis le git.
Yeah, I didn't want that sander anyway. There you go.
Here's a sander.
Edward Spannerhands.
Spannerhands. Spannerhands. Does whatever a Spannerhands does. Right, where's me bit? I need me bit.
Retro says, Daily Mail, my post person shows up like once, twice a week. Daily must be nice. Yeah, we get daily postal deliveries. Daily Mail is a tabloid newspaper in the UK, mate. A bit like, I can't think of an American equivalent, to be quite honest with you.
Think of the most Republican newspaper you can imagine, but then it's also Christian at the same time, perhaps. The most Christian Republican newspaper. Yeah, think of the most right-wing establishment Christian newspaper you can think of.
Yeah.
The Daily Mail is not necessarily religious in any way, but it's like that. It's like the most...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they could, they would have the Daily Mail published in Latin.
Yeah. Like the Daily Mail and the Express, the only difference between the Daily Mail and the Express, they both have like you can guarantee if you open the Daily Mail, half the articles will be about the royal family.
Yeah.
If
They're
it's a
still
Daily
doing
Express
stuff about Diana, and she died in 95, so yeah.
Yeah. The Express is 2/3 will be about the royal family. The only difference between the two, the Mail, the Daily Mail will also have, the remaining half of it will be half of the half will be about how statins are good, and then the next week how statins are bad.
Yeah, you got it, yeah.
And the only other defining feature of the Mail is whatever happens in the world, it's the fault of immigrants.
Yeah.
Japanese tsunami? Yeah, immigrants did that.
Yeah.
The pound collapses, it's immigrants.
Yeah.
Anything you want, they'll blame it on immigrants.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised how they managed to still sell papers, to be honest with you. I mean,
because the kind of people that read the Mail are not the kind of people that go online for the news.
Yeah, I mean, I last bought a newspaper when I lived at me flat.
Yep.
You know, my youngest son weren't born, so that's over 26 years ago since I last bought a newspaper.
Yeah. Their market is not people that read online. Their market is people that buy newspapers in the little corner shop in the village. So yeah, it's just not it's not a good newspaper.
No.
You never listen to anything they say. And the Express is the same, but with slightly less racism.
That's still going as well, is it? The Express.
Yeah, the Express is like, they're both the kind of thing that really wish you could go back to This Little England in the 1950s.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Daily Mail still thinks they're in 1830, don't they? And yeah, it really is. It's strange.
It just all need to be shut down. Right, I've not got I need it. I need an underbelly for this rifle.
We've come across the building dilemma. We're doing all right.
Yeah, I need to find an underbelly for it, and I'm not finding the one I want, which is frustrations times. See me underbelly. No, that's a deathcore backpack. I don't want that.
Yeah. Happy days. Is it me or is it warm? I'm going to put my fan on.
It is warm. It is slightly warm. Let's have a look for 125. Right, let's find.
Hopefully it's not too loud, folks, me fan, but I've got to put my big fan on because it is very, very warm in here. And
I can't hear it, but I'm on an earpiece. So.
Yeah, so hopefully it's not loud, but I apologise if it is. But the only other thing is I'll have to do the stream topless, mate. And the fault of my Wookiee moves in the desk is going to put you all off the dinner.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a problem. It's just the only thing you have to worry about then is spend the whole stream worrying about your gimbal.
Well, yeah, I did that time when I streamed with you and Sire. You said, turn your camera around and show them your insane blade. I said, I can't. Why is that, Cole? I said, I can't really say. Tell me. I said, I may be nude. And he was like, wish you hadn't told me that. I said, you kept saying to tell me.
I did. Right, I've already used this muzzle.
Things Fox instantly regretted doing.
Yeah, there are many things I regret in my life. All of them my own fault, I have to admit. I've already used it, you dingus. That's why I can't find it.
Oh, you spudularity, you.
Which means I've got to use some nonsense underslung weapon, like a...
Audio and video is perfect, says Jeff. Thank you very, very, very much, Jeff, for your feedback, mate.
Feedback accepted.
Yeah, get your feedback here, folks.
Oh, the feedback. So many feedback. All right, well, I can't use that one then, can I? Well, just butts. So what one can I use? What have I got?
He's having a laugh. So
I could give him a bipod. Well, that's underwhelming.
Yeah, that ain't good, mate, is it?
I could give him whatever the hell that is. The hell is that supposed to be? I don't even know what that is. How can I give him a weapon on his gun when I can't even tell what the heck it is? It's like a...
He doesn't know what it is.
Well, look at that weapon. What would you say that weapon is? You can't really see on camera.
Can't really see it, mate, to be quite honest.
No.
A spanner.
I don't know. I can't even tell what it is.
Death gripper.
I've no idea.
Death gripper,
So I can't use that. Death gripper. Wah, wah, wah.
Get your death
That's a
grippers
back
here.
piece.
A pound.
Ooh, back piece. Super match game bomb.
So we've got a bit of that.
It'd be a bipod, isn't it? Because of course it is. Except now I can't find. Oh, there it is.
It's that pipe of contentment.
Bipod.
Yeah,
Mana, bipod. Beep did did. What's your extra weapon on your gun? Legs. Oh.
Yeah.
That's not great. But it's what I've got. It's what I'll paint. Because I can't be bothered fussing with his arms to get them all lined up, I'm giving him one arm with a pistol and one arm with the big weapon. So I don't have to line up anything.
You're a big weapon.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's very kind of you.
What, mate?
I shall have a look at chat in a moment.
I've already been reading it, mate. You obviously, you obviously weren't paying attention.
No, I know you have been. But I haven't been,
Jeff
so
Light is the last comment in there at the moment on mine. Anyway, audio and video is perfect. He says.
Good, jolly good. Right, so that's.
I don't want to distract you from building your dudes because you said you wanted to get them finished tonight because you're struggling. You're getting bored with them.
I am getting bored with them. I am. With these, I know I've got 5 more to make, and they're all right. I'm not getting. It's just like, you know, and like I enjoy making them, but it's just you get to a certain point, you're like, I need to do something else now. Something else is in my radar that I want to build.
We was like that with the Stomper, wouldn't we? We reached that point where we're Stompered to death, mate.
I'm giving up the will to live on it now. Yeah.
I will go back to it because it's sitting up there next to the Insane Blade, staring at me, going, "You ain't finished me yet."
Oh yeah. But I've got a box full of metal Steel Legion dudes I want to get done and primed.
I've got an Insane Blade and a Warlick I want to get painted.
Insane Blade. I still don't know who sent me them, you know. Still not found out.
What?
Who sent me all them Steel Legion dudes. It's insane.
Hey, mate. Be grateful.
I am very grateful. It just makes no sense at all. But hey. People want what they want. I'm happy for that.
Absolutely. Dominic Cuckoo says, good evening, everyone. I won't stay long because it's 1:40 here and that is late. Not a problem, mate. Lovely to see you in, Dominic. Hope you're keeping well, mate.
Hello, hello.
Mrs. is okay, mate. And that's, yeah. It's nice to see folks come in.
Yes.
It keeps us two idiots company at the end of the day. But we were saying before we came on air that we do enjoy doing this show because we do get a nice little variety of people coming in on a Friday and it's nice.
Yeah. Plus, it's not really work, is it? It's a lot of our content is basically work. Yeah. We enjoy doing it, but we're doing it for a living, so it's kind of work. But this is just like, you know what? I'm just hanging out with my mate and having a silly time.
Yeah. We see this as an evening off, don't we, almost?
Yeah. It's kind of like what the Monday night thing will be as well. It's just
oh yeah,
silliness. Do what we want.
I think people will want to publicly punish us, mate, when they see what we're going to be doing soon.
Well, some will want to punish us, and some will want to punish us for what we're doing to what we're doing it to.
Yeah, I think people will giggle. They'll see the funny side, and it'll be like, yeah, that's why these two are idiots, because...
Yeah. They won't want to punish me quite as much, because mine's more conventional, but yours, you'll be doing all kinds of... They'll be like, really? You're doing that to that? Really?
Yeah, I may be committing sacrilege, to be honest with you.
I'm just painting me, you know what I mean?
I kind of want to see hear your reaction when you see how it's going to be brutally sawn apart.
I'll
Little
be
bits of you are going to inwardly be crying. I've just got that feeling.
Not really.
Without giving the game away, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
No. I'm more than happy to wait to find out what it is you're planning on doing.
Yeah, because I won't tell him. He keeps asking me, is it this? Is it that? Is it this?
Yeah, because what I'm going to be doing is much more and people don't know what we're talking about, but what I'm going to do is much more traditional, just like, a repaint.
I told you, you unleashed a monster. You are getting full-blown festered on this bad boy, mate.
I did. I unleashed the monster. Hopefully there'll be repercussions down the line that you'll enjoy.
He said to me, I dare you to release your innermost creative genius. I defy you to make this into anything other than what it is. And I'm like, challenge accepted.
Yep. Like I said, I'm just repainting me.
Yeah.
Christ knows what you're going to do. Oh, I can't wait till they turn up. God damn it. Come on, Amazon.
PJ will be so proud of me because the notepad has been brought into play on this one, PJ.
Oh, we're going to have to see notes, We want to see notes when it's possible to see them.
Yeah, the notepad has been employed because...
we will want to see notes.
Yeah, it's pretty mad.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those that, when we open them up and put them on the bench, people are just going to go, really?
What? They'll be like, wait, what?
And I hope people get why we're doing it.
I don't know. Honestly, dude, no one will understand at all why we're doing it because we don't understand at all why we're doing it. So,
well,
you can't expect why we're doing it.
Part of us does because the hobby can be taken too seriously, can't it? At the end of the day.
No, I mean more why we're doing what we're specifically doing.
Oh, the subject matter. Yeah.
They'll understand why we're doing it, but not why we're doing it with that.
you can blame him for the subject matter.
It's your fault. This
is what happens when you have a 3 a.m. messenger chat with Fox when he's online. Because he goes to all the places and
If you just done the thing that I suggest you do a year ago, we wouldn't have got here. But because you didn't do the thing I suggested that you do, and I've had to nag, then this is why we're going to be doing what we're doing. This is the punishment.
Yeah, I deserve all I get, really, don't I?
You do. So basically, folks, whatever you think of this when it happens, it's all Colin's fault. If he'd done what he was told, if he'd listened to his Uncle Fox.
Paul De Tommaso says, what is it that they will be doing?
We haven't said yet.
We haven't said.
No, you'll find out when you find out.
You'll find out when the boxes go on the bench.
Yep. We'll actually open them live on air.
Do you know something, mate? When they arrive, you are going to be in such a skippity mood. You're going to be a nightmare to work with.
Especially if they arrive on a Tuesday and it's another week till...
Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to have 6 days of sheer hell, mate, if they arrive on a Tuesday.
Well, he's already suffered a bit because I've got 2 boxes of relevant items behind me and it's like...
Every night he goes on about it. I've had photos sent and they're still here. Yeah. It's like,
yeah.
How are you sleeping? Are you sleeping with one eye open, staring at them?
Hard drugs and alcohol.
Have you told your mum yet what you're building?
She wouldn't even understand.
No, yes, because you'd get that face palm, wouldn't you?
She wouldn't even know what it was.
I haven't told H because I just know she'd go, why? And the minute I go, Foxy's fault, she'll go, don't you blame him.
I think what you need to do is you need to tell H, but you need to have the voice recorder on your phone on.
I shall tell her. I'll get her to come in here when I tell her. So you get to see her instant interaction because you've not had a chat with H yet, have you? So
no,
we'll have to do that. She won't come on live, but definitely off air she'll come on.
How are we going to do it? Are we just going to say, right, here is what we're working on tonight and we'll just plonk it on the desk?
Yeah.
In the box and then unbox it? Because we'll obviously have taken it out of the box, the travelling box.
Well, yeah, because the first week's thumbnail can be mystery build start. But and it'll be, right, this is what we're doing. And it'll be, oh, my God, why?
Yep. Oh, yeah, the first week there will be nothing in the thumbnail that gives it away. The second week, it will blatantly say what it is we're doing.
It's going to go mental the following week, mate.
Yeah. You do a thumbnail on yours, I'll do a thumbnail on mine.
No, I've said you do a generic across both, mate. I don't mind.
No, I do different ones. You do one, I'll do one.
I know you will enjoy the pleasure.
I want to see what you do with it.
Yeah, but mine will involve vets and neutering and removal of objects, and yeah.
That's all right.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, Marcus. Marcus is putting a $11.99 super chat. He says, I'm off to bed. He says, thank you, Colin and Fox, for the stream and enjoy all. Thank you very, very much, Marcus, for your generosity. And a bit of on-screen air guitar will imminently be played.
Yes. Hey, I tell you what, change the subject completely.
Yes.
I was thinking of you the other day.
Oh, you were?
I wasn't on the toilet. There was no poop. I wasn't on the toilet pooping or anything like that.
Now I'm getting worried.
I was watching. I've been playing. I need to cough. Hang on. I don't know if it's the dust or the glue that gives me the coughs when I'm at the bench. I've been playing Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 1 was garbage and I hated it, but I got Watch Dogs 2 free and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
And it's all right. It's passable. But I was looking at a thing for the third game, Watch Dogs Legion.
Oh, right,
that came out in, I think, 2018. And again, I'm not really that interested in the game, but it's set in London.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they've basically recreated London.
Oh, nice.
Not 100%.
Yeah.
But they've kind of compacted some areas down a bit. But it's got it's got the city, it's got Southwark, it's got Camden, it's got all the areas around the centre of London.
The key points, yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching a video of a London cabbie actually playing the game.
Yeah.
And he says, right, I've got this game, I've got a good PlayStation, I'm going to go around London and see it. And because he's using his knowledge. Yeah. And he's driving around, he gets his taxi cab in the game, and he's driving along, and he's saying, right, just down here should be this, yeah, and there's that train station, there you go, and over there should be this. Oh, they've not got that there, they've removed that. Yeah. And he was amazed how accurate it was.
Clever,
I was meant to ask, did you say your mum was from Southwark?
No. Where was it from? It was something where she said it as a posh name. It wasn't your mum. Oh, no, that's Winnie. Winnie says she lives in St. Wreatham, which is Stretton.
Oh, that's Stretton. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. When you're next in St. Wreatham, and I'm like, St. Wreatham? That's where I live. I said, Stretton. Well, you know, she says, got to try and big it up a bit, you know. You're trying to big up Stretton.
You got to paper it over a little bit.
The birds fly upside down over Stretton because there's nothing worth them crapping on, you know?
Yep.
Bless her.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought of you when it had this like recreation of London. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. My mum, she's a Tooting girl. Born in Tooting, mate.
I don't know if that area is in the game. It might be. Possibly.
Raised in Tooting, should I say.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Well, if I do get the game, of course, you'll have it as well. So you'll be able to wander around London.
There you go. Have you
because
some of that?
Anybody from London obviously knows London without the back of the hand, clearly. This in the same way I know Manchester like a taxi driver, obviously.
It's surprising when I go back there. At first, it's like, I'm trying to remember where such and such is. But, I mean, I used to always have an A to Z in my back pocket anyway, but it's surprising how it evolves because you'll go back and you think, oh, I wonder whether that's still there. You go down and the whole area is completely different. You know, London constantly is evolving.
Oh, yeah.
Typical big city. You'll probably find this when you go into the main areas of Manchester. There's always something that has changed from when you was last there.
Well, I can honestly say, last time I went into Manchester was 2020.
Yeah.
Literally about a week before lockdown. Or two. And that was the first time in about 15 years I've been to Manchester. Yeah. I used to go to Manchester all the time, and then I stopped going to clubs and stuff. And I just didn't go into Manchester after that. Manchester's just kind of boring.
Well, the older generation now of my family and that, they're all getting to the end of their tenure. So normally the only time I go up is to say goodbye to one of them, you know. And but, you know, you don't get much chance to have a good nosy. And me and travelling ain't great, as you know, so I don't get to see as much of it as I once did. But...
Yeah, I can honestly say, last time I went into Manchester was 2020. Literally about a week before lockdown. And that was the first time in about 15 years I've been to Manchester. Yeah. I used to go to Manchester all the time, and then I stopped going to clubs and stuff. And I just didn't go into Manchester after that.
Well, the older generation now of my family and that, they're all getting to the end of their tenure. So normally the only time I go up is to say goodbye to one of them, you know. But you don't get to see as much of it as I once did. But I miss the big city. I miss the life, the vibe, and all of that lot. But I wouldn't want to live there. It may sound strange, but it's like, yeah.
See, I'm kind of weird in that I never found, say, Manchester, because that's, you know, the big city nearest me. I never found Manchester, in a suburb of which I live, interesting.
No.
I found it just to be shops and offices. I'm like, okay, it's shops and offices. If I go there, it's for a specific shop. Okay, that serves a purpose, or a club at night or something. But I never found any attraction to it. However, one thing I did always quite want to do in my later life was, say, I always found it quite nice to live, or thought it'd be nice to live in an apartment where you can open the window and hear the sound of, like, maybe, you know, quite high up, to hear the sound of the city below. Because when I used to stay in hotels and stuff, I went to London a few times and stayed in hotels, and you'd open the window in your hotel room, like, you know, 10 floors up, and you'd have the white noise of the city below you.
Yeah, you'd have the hum of all the vehicles and the occasional blaring of a siren, and
not loud enough that you'd hear, like, all the car horns going off and stuff, but it was just sort of generic white noise. And it's like, I kind of quite like that sound. It's very similar to when it's just white noise enough. I find it, like, pleasing in the same way if you go into proper woodland, or if you go into snowy mountains and you've got that kind of white noise sound of just the wind on the mountains or through the trees.
It's when I first came down here was how quiet everything suddenly became, because you didn't, like you say, you didn't have that hum of the big city life going on. And suddenly you would be walking along and you could hear the rustling of leaves on a tree branch where there was a breeze. It's like, I've never heard that before. You know, I mean, the sound of wildlife, and it's like, this is weird.
I mean, I wouldn't like to listen to the sound of a city at street level all day long, because that would kill me. But put me 6 or 7 floors up or more, where I can open the window and listen at all, where it all just becomes white noise. Brilliant. I think it's probably that part of your brain that likes, like, the sounds of the ocean or the sounds of woodland, wind in the trees. It's that kind of thing. I wouldn't want to live in the city, but I'd like to live above a city.
Yeah, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd have a penthouse in London. I would have that type of high-rise city life, but I wouldn't want the hustle and bustle. So it's a strange one. Part of me wants to do with it, but I couldn't do it all year round. But then, if you're a multi-millionaire, you can live where you like, can't you?
Yeah, you'd have to be rich enough or win enough on the lottery to, first of all, have a little man at the front desk of the building you live in who can take your parcels for you.
Concierge.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
You don't want to live in a block of flats. It's like, ding, got a parcel for you. I'll just come down 13 floors.
Yeah, you don't want to walk up 13 stairs of urine-filled filth with discarded heroin needles. You would want the full guy in the uniform with the peak cap and the burgundy jacket. Hello there, Mr. Wolf. You like the gold braiding on my uniform?
Yeah, you'd want the concierge to take your package for you and then just leave you a message saying, we have packages for you in the lobby, Mr. Wolf. If you'd like to come down, okay, brilliant, no problem.
Oh, no, you want it so that they bring them up to you.
Well, you could do that. That'd be better. And then, of course, you also want to make sure that if you do need to go anywhere, you don't have to even set foot in the driver's seat of a car, because driving around a city, screw that.
Oh, no, you would have your chauffeur.
You'd have a little man in a car.
Dominic's going to bed. He says, have a nice evening. No worries, mate. PJ says, it would be nice to get... This is going to make you laugh, this one. It would be nice. Go on. Yeah, let me read it then. He says, it would be nice to get some advance notice of whatever the secret thing is, because you don't like secrets, does PJ. He wouldn't mind buying whatever it is and joining you till building it, whatever it is.
Careful what you wish for, PJ.
Be very careful, PJ, because
I think that means that PJ now has to, once we reveal what it is, PJ has to go and buy one.
Yeah, well, you know that other vehicle, the green one.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think it'd be good for that. But
or what about the one the one that can go on, that can attach to the I don't want to say too much.
No, I know the one you mean. Yeah. He's going to regret this statement. There's still time for you to retract, PJ, but you know.
Yep. Don't back yourself into a corner when you don't know what's in the corner.
Can't wait to see you try and explain this one to Mr. Bretland. Yeah, lads, I'm doing a buddy build with Foxx and Festa. Oh, what are you building? Yeah. Oh, I'd love to be a fly in a room on that show.
What do you think he would do to it, though? Imagine what PJ would actually do to it. We know what it is, obviously. So
I know exactly what he would do to it.
Photo etch.
Super shiny.
Super shiny photo etch.
Yeah. Actually, saying that, on a serious note, I think that would be a really nice build to see.
Give it all the let's say interior detail it doesn't currently have.
Go full
and not just in the
MFH
interior. Yeah.
Proper set of custom decals and
wires, pipes,
lines
spits.
and oh mate, yeah, be mint.
Yeah.
Oh dear, PJ. Oh dear.
You've just basically pooped on your own doorstep. Sorry.
Yeah. What are you gonna do when you realise what that possibly could be?
We've just read that statement as I will do what they're doing, so you're screwed now.
Yeah.
We've backed you into the corner by default. So good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Try getting out of that in the Zoom 24/7.
PJ's like, oh, crap.
Yeah. You will. You'll be going, damn it. As soon as you find out, you'll be going, damn it. Wish I had not said a word.
Best thing is, it's about the same price as a Lehman Russ, but it's so much more fun. Actually, no, it's cheaper than a Lehman Russ.
Oh, I just think it's brilliant. It's that bad. I've got a picture of it on my phone in my photo album. I've got side.
Do you look at it longingly?
Yeah, I've got side, front, back, and top view, and it's enabled me to figure out the direction I'm going to go, and I'm like, the insanity of this is.
Well, that's no different to me when I did that Lehman Russ, the tabletop trauma centre.
Yeah.
I found a black and white outline drawing of the sides, fronts and backs of the Lehman Russ, so I used that as a colour template to work out my colour scheme.
Yeah. Oh, that went well, Cole. Knock that off the stand.
Yeah.
Why don't you? There you go. Let's put that over there for now.
So, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I've had an exploratory perusal of the pictorial evidence.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there going, yeah, this is going to be a bit mad.
And the best thing that will make no sense at all to you in the audience right now, but when you see what it is, keep in mind that Colin has voluntarily been looking at other products in the same range.
Oh, you did?
Voluntarily.
You right under the bus, didn't you?
Voluntarily, without me getting him to do it, been looking at other products in the same range, and he can't deny that now because I won't let him.
No, because it's in my wish list.
Yep. When you see what it is, you'll understand why that's a big thing.
Yeah. It's in my Amazon wish list, which, yeah.
Damn it, why did they have to do that specific thing? Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be, yeah. I immediately... Well,
regretted everything.
No, not at all in a way, because once the insanity of it sunk home, I just thought, do you know something? We could have a right laugh with it.
Yeah. The thing is, when you realise you're an idiot, you just have to go with it. You roll with it. You know what? We're idiots, and that's the best thing, because we'll just go with it. We'll roll with it.
Yeah, and it's the whole point of what we're trying to do with this is just prove to people. At the end of the day, we're grown men building plastic models. Let's just have a laugh, feel down, and enjoy the hobby for what it is.
Yeah, let's just be dumb.
Oh, we can do that all day long, mate, because we are dumb.
Yeah. Ooh, almost perfect, but not quite. The barrel, I mean, not us.
Yeah, I was going to say us too. Perfect. I came over all of a quiver.
The barrel.
Drill out your barrels of fun.
I have to update, by the way. You know when I had to step out earlier on?
Yes.
I inquired to Mama Wolf if she was about to go to bed, and she went, "Oh God, no, not yet." Despite the fact that like an hour before she's like, "Oh, I'm going to have to go to bed. I'm really tired."
Yeah, bless her.
She's clearly found an interesting article on Facebook about animals or something. Said, "No, I'm not going to bed yet." Okay.
Yeah, either that or she's looking at your shopping history, going, "That boy of mine, I worry about him."
I keep her Amazon account and my Amazon account well apart.
Mate, I tell you, that's a good decision, mate.
Yeah. Not that she would want my search history. I don't want her shopping history.
I know H it'll be. Why? She'll amble in, she'll see that on the bench and go, what on earth are you doing? But then when she sees the end result, that's what fascinates H, because she'll ask me, oh, well, you know, I heard you in there saying you're starting a new build. What is it? So I go and get the box, let her have a look through the instructions, and then I'll sit and say to her what I'm thinking of doing. And then she gets a buzz out of seeing the end result. She's like, now I get where you was going. She finds the whole process quite intriguing.
Does she not get you to make stuff for her? Like stuff that she finds interesting? I know you did the black coach and she quite fancied that, didn't she? So.
Yeah. All of these are for her. These steampunk, because...
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Yeah, that's right. You did say that, didn't you?
You know, they're all for her. I've got the black coach to build. She's got her eye on that. She just goes through, she looks at fantasy realm figures and that, and I've done quite a few of them for her, figure painting and that. So
you've just reminded me, I've actually got some Age of Sigmar stuff, because you remember Dave Barker got me one ages ago.
Right, yeah.
A big sort of horse and cart thing with a celestial thingy on it.
Yeah.
I almost forgotten about that.
Awesome cart. Get your awesome carts here. Right for £1.
You were almost singing my Altrincham Football Club official theme.
Were I?
What I wrote in 97.
This is uncanny, isn't it? I mean, not only do we finish each other's sentences.
He sings my music without even realising it.
Oh, no.
I don't know if they still play that music at Altrincham Football Club. They may well do.
Mate, if they do, think of all the royalties.
No.
Or is it royalty free?
It is royalty free. It was just done as a favour.
What have we got? Page A says, I could claim diminished responsibility. Just saying. Yes, you could.
Well, you could, but you can't claim on the basis of us having diminished. It doesn't work like that. We've got diminished responsibility.
Yeah, that's
because then the question is,
diminished.
who's the bigger fool? The fool or the fool that follows? Rabbit says, beep, 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 beep.
I think we really are going to be seen as a pair of complete and utter nutters.
Yep.
Why is Retro
Rabbit doing Roadrunner noises?
Beep, beep. I honestly don't know,
beep.
mate.
Are you having a bit of a turn there, Rabbit? Are you having a funny turn, like the old people would say?
He's feeling a bit peculiar, as my Aunt Wynne says.
A bit peculiar, having a funny turn.
I'm feeling a bit peculiar, she says. Oh, all right then. I've never met a woman, but as long as you're happy, Wynne. But yeah, she goes, you're so wrong you are. I go, yeah.
Yeah. How long you know me?
Oh, mate, yeah. She's so funny. Her and my mum together. God, they're an absolute nightmare. Oh, mate, honestly, it's like...
Should they have their own BBC 4 comedy series?
Oh, mate, honestly. Anyone that's watched Harry Enfield's television show, where you see the two old grannies going, oh, young man, all of that lot. That's her and her Winnie. Oh, mate.
Have you seen? Yeah. There's a program that Mama Wolf likes watching, and it's called The Lady of Letters.
Oh, right.
And it's who was the one that used to be in the BT advert saying, "Oh, my son, he's got an ology." Maureen Lipman.
Yeah.
It's her and this other actress, and they play like two retired ladies.
Yeah.
And I get the impression they're a bit like that.
Yeah. Retro says beep beep. Someone's watch went beep beep. That might have been mine, mate.
Or mine, because it's got the did on the hour. It's got the hour.
You've got your
both of ours.
Calculator watch, but
I've got my awesome ultimate geek watch. My favourite watch in the world.
Yeah, I had a YouTube notification going, Festa 67 is going live. Watch the Friday Frolic.
You can't get better than a geek watch, a databank watch.
Absolutely.
Sadly, it's not an old one with the push squishy buttons. It's a modern one with the not squishy buttons. But it's good. I'd love one of those old original, the first ever digital ones where you just pushed it and it displayed the time. But they can't get them anymore.
Oh, what, you mean the black screen ones with the red letters? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get them anymore for money that any of us could afford. We actually used to have one. My brother had one, and it was in a drawer for years, and then it just got thrown out. It's like,
I've got a drawer full of old watches, and in there, I do believe, is one of my old Casio first generation digital watches. And it's like, because we all have the man drawer. I don't know. Well, I presume you all have man, female drawer, whatever you want to call it. But it's that drawer that's got all the old mobile phones we used to have thrown in them, old watches with batteries that went flat and we couldn't be bothered, so we just went and bought another one. Charging cables for devices you don't remember what the hell they are old
anymore.
Phone charging cables for things that you no longer own.
It's the only place in the house where you actually find like eyelets with screw threads on them, you know, for putting into a wall. Whenever you want to hang a net curtain.
The hooks for the net curtains.
Net curtain hooks,
You'll have flat AAA batteries.
Cable ties.
Cable ties,
Cable ties. You will have, what else have we got?
A small empty sellotape reel where it was about to run out, but that 2mm left on it, you thought, I will not throw that away because that's wasteful, so I'll put it in the drawer.
A collection of random Allen keys of various sizes.
A matchbox with no matches in it.
There'll be a matchbox with some fuses in it.
You'll have an empty cardboard sleeve that used to have fuse wire wound around it. You will have, what else have we got nice? Washers. There'll be washers all over the place. You'll have that 1 inch off cut of wood that's got one screw with no crosshead in it because it's worn, and a door hinge on one side. And you're like, what is that for? But it's there.
Or in fact, you will just have a door hinge or two.
Various old kitchen hinges, none of which match.
Also keys that you've got no idea what they're from. You will also have things like, you will have the one single Stanley knife that you have will be in that drawer.
With the broken blade?
With the blade that's been in it since about 1984. There'll be like a collection of screwdrivers that are all the wrong size all the time.
Empty bottle of Tipex.
We haven't got one of those. You'll have things like just random tools like a bradawl. We've got a bradawl in ours, like a little wooden bradawl. And a pair of pliers and things like that, and all that kind of stuff. And thread. There'll be thread, but it won't be on thread and roll. It'll just be thread loose, and it's just got into everything.
Just be a tangle of it, and one needle that has got no point on it because it's blunter than a blunt thing.
And there will, of course, be instructions for something that you've not had for years, and it's something useless like an outdoor solar light or one of those things that plugs into the plug socket to make noises to scare spiders and mice off, or something like that. Little useless betterware crap.
You'll have one of those 24-in-1 AC adapters, but you can't find any of the attachments that fit to the end of the wire. You know, the ones with the different prongs on that you can plug into things. You'll have the adapter, but you won't have the little tag with all the bits on it.
Or you'll have the little. It's like a machine gun thing in it with the bullets, but it's just different. Or you'll have that without the adapter.
And you'll also have one of those rubber things with various magnetic screwdriver bits in, but all the bits that you want are missing. The flathead and the Phillips that you're after won't be in there.
We've actually got a ratchet screwdriver set in ours, and it's got most of the bits, but not many. But all of them are rusty. But I still use it. It's that kind of drawer that has that kind of stuff.
I've got that bad boy that I use, which is a 6-shooter screwdriver, and that's my go-to screwdriver. You just turn it round, change the bit, turn it round, and change the bit, he says. That's
like having one of them pens with like 6 different colours in it. You press the button.
But the beauty of it is you can take the gun cylinder out and you can load in whatever bits you want. And then load it with them. So, that's my go-to gadget.
That's too good to be in the bits drawer. The way to think of a bits drawer, in this house anyway, is round the corner from us there's a row of shops, and one of those shops is like what the Americans would call a hardware store.
Obligatory fuse.
Where in the 70s and 80s, you go there to buy a fuse or a light bulb or a thing of fuse wire, or they might just sell a washing up bowl, or little bits like that. They just sell hardware stuff or house numbers and things like that. And it's the hardware shop. I don't know what we called it in this country, but it's like a hardware store.
A do-it-yourself shop, wasn't it?
Yeah. We didn't call it that though. Yeah. This is in the days before do-it-yourself like B&Q stuff. Though.
Yeah.
Like they'd sell they'd have like a row of wrought iron stuff and.
Yeah. I know the right places you mean.
You go and buy a plug and you'd also sell like washing powder and all the.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it's the drawer that's filled with the stuff that you get from the hardware store.
Yeah.
When you used to go and buy a fuse.
Yeah.
Like the 4 candles sketch. It's that kind of shop.
We got one, Lincoln's it's called, and it's literally a mile from us, and I have never been in there. I'm not been able to find what I'm looking for, no matter how obscure it is. And me and H always set ourselves this challenge. On our way to somewhere like B&Q, it's here, pop into Butland Avenue down at Lincoln's, go in there and ask him whether he's got one of these, and she'll come out and she goes, he's only got one. God, you're joking. Yeah, he's got one.
Yeah, and they're all like really old shops, and they have a specific smell. I can imagine that. I can smell the smell now. It's this wonderful kind of like
polished rags and stuff.
Oil and rags and electronics and metalwork, and it's just a wonderful smell. But that's what that drawer is basically. It's
the smell of lead solder fumes coming from his back room where all the good stuff is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically the drawer of 4 candles. 4 candles.
4 candles, absolutely.
Oh, we forgot. There's always a pack of birthday candles in the drawer as well.
Yeah.
But they don't have the little teas. Just the candle without the teas, which is useless. It's always half of things. It's like one thing without the bit that goes with it. You always got half.
We've also got a plastic tub that's got various birthday cake numbers on it.
Oh yeah.
So you can make the numbers up. Yeah. And it all goes back to when the kids were little.
I can reveal that actually I keep knocking on my lights and things. This tin that I use for small parts actually came from the hardware store drawer.
Oh,
the man drawer.
Yeah, good man.
It was just in there and it had some screws in it and a bit of wire. So I took all that out and I used that for bits. So yeah, I don't know if it's just a UK thing, but.
Oh yeah. Paul D. Tomato says, anyone buy anything off of Temu? Never heard of them, mate.
Nope, never heard of it.
He says,
like
I ordered a small rotary tool with bits. He's still waiting for it to arrive. If it's coming from China, minimum 12-week turnaround on a lot of stuff at the moment.
Yeah. If it's coming from China, minimum 12-week turnaround, if it actually turns up.
Because they're still having issues with the Velociraptor over there, aren't they? So a lot of the industrialised places are still heavily restricted, mate. So
yes, plus there are also trade sanctions.
With
China.
Yes.
I don't know. I've just never trusted any of those things like Wish and stuff. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like to buy online if I don't have any kind of custom protection. So like eBay. Amazon's fine. You've got eBay. If anything goes wrong, they usually favour the buyer rather than the seller.
The amount of people that I know that have ordered stuff from an eBay ad, and it's like, you do realise you're never going to see that.
Yeah, but at least you get some protection as a buyer on eBay. That's the thing. But like you go onto like Wish, good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I know a lot of people have good experience with it, but it's like I don't want to risk not ever getting the thing and then not being able to get anything back because, good luck.
It's like anything. Money don't grow on trees, does it? Let's be honest.
No. If I'm going to order something online, if I'm not going to shop and buy it, then I want to know that I'm somehow protected should things go wrong.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what shocked me the other day. I ordered some, this, because I ordered a tin of Direct Bits coffee off Amazon.
Yeah.
I've noticed that Amazon have started using regular couriers.
Yes.
Because at one point it turned up with DPD.
Yeah.
My coffee turned up the other day from Every.
Oh no, you didn't, did you? Oh
no, Now at no point did Amazon tell me that shipping was through Every and not through Amazon. And it's like, whoa, that's. I mean, it turned up the next day as promised, and it was like, okay, but maybe it's a bit different when it's from Amazon. Maybe they have to get the finger out.
Yeah.
But it's like you need to tell people if you're going to use shippers like Every, because
absolutely.
If I'd known it was Every, I wouldn't have risked it.
Yeah, they're a nightmare.
But then again, maybe Every actually get the finger out when Amazon's breathing down the neck. So.
Dorkosaurus says, dinner tonight is Mexican, a spiced baked bean, chicky, broccoli with cream corn. And Paul says, tracking says it's here in Canada already. Not sure what's happening with it now. Might be customs, mate. You know, I mean, I've had an item stuck in UK customs now for 6 weeks, mate.
Yep.
It's there. You know, it's just not cleared yet, mate. You can jump up and down, but it's not going to speed them up, is it?
No. And again, it depends what, like, if there's any, like, current regulations with imports from the Chinese mainland in your country.
Absolutely. Pans in, says Festa and Foxx Hugs. Hello, Pans.
Hey, Panzer. Hugs to you.
I mean, there's no issue with the contents or anything like that. You know, they're like, yeah, it's there. You know, as soon as we can get everything cleared, they've got a backlog. It's like, yeah, I understand.
Yep.
Because don't forget, we had a cyber attack in the UK at the Royal Mail that affected not only their ability to send stuff out the country, but also all the customs clearance houses. Yep. They was a victim of it as well. So they have got warehouses full up with stuff waiting to be processed, mate.
Yep.
You know, that's why us shipping stuff out of the UK at the moment is very hit or miss.
Yeah.
You know, which is why I'm holding back on all my mugs for folks in America. I might actually get them made in America and shipped from there, because stuff going out the UK is hit and miss at the moment. Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I've got stuff I need to send. You know, I've got to send George all his Warhammer Conquest stuff and the Hello Kitty tank and all that kind of stuff. I got some miniatures from my local Warhammer store in 2019 that you couldn't get in the US.
Yeah.
And they were like the Warhammer Day miniatures. And I said, I'll grab one of each for you, and then I'll send them over, and they're still waiting to go.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got them to send. But I've got all these, like, you know, Warhammer Conquest stuff I need to send. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to tempt fate with it, to be honest with you, but...
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to send you 500 quid worth of plastic and it not get there.
Good man, PJ. I've got one of them. He says his drawer of mysteries has, among other things, an ice scraper for the freezer that de-ices itself.
Oh, yeah.
Various plastic feet unscrewed from delivered kitchen appliances, and bizarrely, a single sock.
A single sock. Yeah, we have a weird collection of, like, they're like, you get the eyelet hook. You get a hook like that, but then you get the eyelet where it's a complete loop.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're not really much use for anything unless it's like, you know, hanging that curtain.
Yeah.
And they've got the thread, the screw thread, but they've all got, like, white enamel paint on them, like they've been on a wall. So I don't know why, but we've got all these pre-used eyelets.
Packets upon packets of different size and shaped curtain rings to fit different curtain poles.
Oh yeah, we've loads of ours are all loosened in random.
We haven't got curtain poles. We've got them swish rail things with all the cords on them. So why on earth have we got those things that won't fit anything we've got in the house? We don't even know where they came from.
And that's the other thing about the man drawer or the hardware store drawer is if it's one of those drawers in lots of different compartments. Because I think ours is actually what would be in a kitchen, a cutlery drawer, but we've used it as the storage drawer.
Ours is a spare drawer in the kitchen.
So you've got all the little compartments built into it, and it's like nothing is in a specific, like, you know, you've got little curtain hooks in all the different compartments.
Oh yeah, nothing's sorted.
No, it's just random. And have you got the thing where sometimes you can't get it open because there's like a pair of pliers that go up like that and catching you?
Yeah, you have to get a steel ruler out and slide it in the gap to try and prod down whatever it is in there. Yeah,
that's the other thing. The hardware drawer is often broken in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the runners on ours. Yeah, one of the runners on ours, a couple of the screws have snapped. So as you open the drawer, it drops on one side. So you have to lift it up to bring it out. I
don't know why that drawer in particular, because all the other drawers in the kitchen are absolutely fine.
I think it's because it always has stuff in it that gets caught, and what happens 9 times out of 10 we give it a big yank even. Very nearly there. I don't know where that came from.
Steady.
Yeah, moving on. So yeah, I think we end up destroying the hinges where we're a bit heavy-handed.
Yeah.
People have a nervous disposition. You can relax now.
It's always the first place I go to look for things like a hook or a screw or a nail or anything like that.
But why do we keep flat-headed screws where it's all gouged, and why do we have cross-headed screws where it's perfectly rounded? It's never going to be used for anything, but we still have them in the drawer.
got any of them, but we have got the odd screw in there, although we've got like sets of screws now. But for us, it's mostly
bent tacks. Why have bent tacks? You know, where you've hit a tack with hammer and it's bent. You've just plinged it in the drawer with all the others. You're like, really? Why?
Dude, I think that's just you.
Honestly, mate, the tack that I've got in the man drawer, I'm going to have to clear it out one day and take a picture of all the useless crud that's in there. That's a challenge, folks. I'll do a page for the group. Crap that we've got in our man drawers.
Yeah, have a take a photograph of your man drawers. But it's like you said to me the other day, you're just not right.
No, I ain't, mate. Helen often says to me, why on earth have you kept that? I don't know. She says, you're a hoarder. I went, no, I'm not that bad, but I am.
I'm not that bad, he said, from underneath the pile of newspapers.
It's surprising some of the bits that you keep in the man cave as well, you know. What?
Weird random stuff.
Yeah, you do, don't you? You're like, it's all right, you went quiet then. I instinctively looked up thinking that you had dropped out again.
No, I thought you were in the middle of a sentence.
So, yeah. Yeah, that random crud that we've got. But, yeah.
Random crud.
I've got staples for a stapler that I don't even own. I've got an electric stapler that's got no staples. It's like, why?
No, I've actually somewhere in this house got a wall stapler, but I can't find it. And I've got like a pack of wall staples, and it's great because it's a wall stapler. But no. So I've got all these things on my walls that are held in with like thumbtacks and poster tack and stuff, and it's like I've got a wall stapler somewhere that makes this permanent, but it's can't find the damn thing.
I've got an industrial nail gun. I use an hammer and nails when I've never, you know, it's like,
yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what I saw the other day.
What's that, mate?
I don't know how practical it would be, but I'd never heard of this thing before. But it's the thing from Sparmax called a flyer.
Oh, right.
And it's like halfway between a rattle can and an airbrush.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's like an airbrush grip, like a trigger grip, with a trigger, and the nozzle here, like a film on the front. And what you do is you get a bottle with a nozzle built into it, and you unscrew that, put the paint in, and then put it in like a Maca cartridge, spray it, and if you want to change the colour, just pop the bottle out and put another bottle in.
Well, that's a good thing. Happy
But
days.
it's like it's not as accurate as an airbrush, but it's a bit more accurate than a rattle can.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Squishy alert, Edward Leonard's in. Hello, Edward. How you doing, mate? It's a microphone there, Cole. Don't headbutt it, mate.
Welcome, Edward. I looked at it the day and I thought, well, I couldn't find one online for sale, but I was disheartened that 2 bottles with the nozzle on cost 40 quid. I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah, I did
saw a
that
video
years ago. I bought a Black and Decker paint, mate, and it was like, yeah, it's all well and good, but then it come to the laborious cleaning process. It's like, yeah, I'll just stick to me brushes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's strange.
Do.
I think we're all a bit strange.
You're just not right. I'm strange. You're just not right.
You've been talking to H again, haven't you? That's what she always says. You're just not right.
Oh, yeah.
You're really
you
not
say
right.
I've never talked to H. In your mind, I've never talked to H.
Yeah, honestly. You sound so much like her when she says, you're not right, she says.
Okay, well, you're near 8.
She just goes, why do I get the broken one? It's like, really?
Good wished.
Yeah. I sit there and I say, am I really that bad? And they all look over and go, yeah. It's like, damn, outnumbered again.
That's my new favourite phrase at the minute. Good wished. Shut up.
Mind you, I'm not in the doghouse at the moment, which is...
Oh, you've said it now.
Yeah.
Did you really just say that out loud?
I did. It's the calm before the storm, isn't it?
You can't believe you just said that out loud.
Yeah.
Do you really want the wrath of the whatever from higher top the thing?
Yeah.
You have to go outside, spit on the ground, and turn around 3 times swearing.
I'll proper put a Jonah on myself now, won't I?
Yeah.
Retro says, gonna put you on the big telly so I can stretch out on the sofa. Good for you, mate. How long do we give him before he's snoring?
Minutes. I have to say,
Edward says he's doing okay. Glad to hear it, Edward.
You are the only person I know that could be married to H and not have learnt anything.
Oh, no. I like to keep her on her toes, mate.
Yeah. That if ever you want confirmation that you're just a dumbass, like the worst dumbass there is, you've been married to H for 30 years and you've not learnt a thing.
Absolutely. I like to test her resolve. That's how I say it.
You say it when she's not there, yeah.
Yeah.
When she's not around.
Yeah, she's next door, mate.
Yeah. When she's in the room with you, you wouldn't say that.
Oh, no. I'm not that dull.
What are you doing?
I am sanding one of my little tentacles that go on these shoulder pauldrons.
Ooh. You still working on that dude?
Yeah.
Are you just milking it for all it's worth now?
I told you, mate, I will drag this out. I will take... You said it would take 10 minutes. Look, yeah, he's got, but I've still got all these tentacle things to put on.
You just what's the word? Throttling yourself back, aren't you?
I am doing the 30 mile an hour speed limit, mate.
Yeah. You're in a 20 mile an hour school zone. You're doing 10 miles an hour.
It's just I don't want you to say that you was right.
You just don't want, you don't mean to be right again.
Absolutely. This is what us two are like. We are Statler and Waldorf at the end of the day. It's surprising how many, we've said it before, and it's surprising how many people think we don't really get on, but we do.
Of course we do.
We're like anyone, we can drive each other nuts some days, but we get on.
Yeah. It's all just nonsense.
Absolutely.
All just nonsense.
He sits there some nights and he goes, God, I really do feel sorry for H, because you are an absolute nightmare. And I go, yeah, I know.
You are. It's not wrong.
That poor woman needs a medal. I said, don't tell her that. You'll encourage her.
Our collective nickname is the Fool and the Fool Who Follows, but which is which? Well, that's up to the people to decide.
Yeah. H says we're like lemmings. She says the minute one of you is told not to do something, you go and do it anyway.
Of course.
And I'm like, yeah, it's the order of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't make things more complicated than they need to be. I ascribe to the WD-40 or the WD-40 or gaffer tape laws of the universe. Is it moving? Yes. No. Is it supposed to move? No. Then it's broken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's the Polish toolkit, isn't it? Should it move? Stick it together with duct tape if it shouldn't.
Yeah.
If it should move and it doesn't, WD-40. There you go.
Yeah. There's this flow chart, and it always comes up with WD-40 or gaffer tape, and that's it.
That's it.
That's all you need.
Because there was a time that every workman in the UK was from Poland or Ukraine, wasn't it?
Yep.
So it was like, yeah.
I love the way over here we call it gaffer tape because it's tape the gaffer used to have.
Yeah.
Or at least I did, because the gaffer on a production.
That's what it is down here, gaffer tape.
Yeah. My dad always said it was, from him, it was always because in TV production, the gaffer, the chief grip and electrician was the gaffer. Where did I put that bit that I didn't clean?
So is that one of them? Or is that
Super Match Game. Tiny little barrel to drill out.
You're looking at the shape of it, you pillock, and it's got the number written right above the part. Oh, you klutz.
Welcome to Festa's Frolic, Friday Frolic.
I'm sitting here, right? Yeah, look, this is how the mind of Festa doesn't work, right?
Mm.
I'm sitting here, I'm building these, right?
Yeah.
So I am sitting, looking at these little green shapes on the thing. I'm trying to marry them up. Is that the one? Does that look like it? What's here? There, look.
To be fair, though, you do tend with Games Workshop kits to actually end up doing that more than looking for the numbers. I don't know why.
Yeah, because it's very rare that the numbers are actually cast. And I'm sitting there like, that's a weird one. Is it the mole? Is it the drill? Is it that? And it's like, there's got a big number on it there, Carl. Well,
that's what I've been doing with the attachment for these guns. I've been looking for the attachment and not the number.
Well, I was in stomper mode. We all know how well that build went. And obviously I've been doing a lot of Forge World lately. Forge World. And,
and the Baneblade, don't forget that's not numbered either.
Exactly. So the instructions aren't very great. So I've just been looking at the pictures and going with that, and it's like, yeah, it's a big thing there, Cole, with numbers on it. Don't be like me, folks.
Yeah. Maths is hard. I like shopping. I
don't get out much. I don't like turtles. Lynn Ditwell says, I have Festa and Colin, Fox and Colin hugs even, Panzer Edward and everyone else, big hugs, big kisses, and a wee parrot on the end. Edward says, those little single blister pack Game Workshop figures are usually expensive as shite to us in the US, like $30 or so. Colin, probably because of the points. Absolutely, mate.
Yep.
Well, that's what threw me. I mean, I remember what it was. I bought one item that was 24 quid, and then I bought the Sentinel that was a similar price. And I remember saying to Fox, the bloody difference between them was shocking, but it was because of the points.
Yeah, because like if you get like a single figure in a blister pack, it's typically either a high-ranking figure like Commissar Yarrick or something, or it's a character.
Yeah.
And they will cost you more points. You can only play, if it's a character, named character, for example, you can have one of them in your army.
Yeah.
You can't have 3 Commissar Yarricks. So you're only going to buy one, so they charge more because they cost more points to put in the game. But they know you're only going to buy one, so they charge you more.
I think it might have been a Alt Truck or a Booster Blaster. Custom Booster Blaster. I compared that to the Sentinel, and I'm like, I felt I'd been ripped off. And then Fox was like, no, it's all based on the points, mate. Right. Now I'm with it.
It's based on the points and what they can actually do. If you've got like a thing with one gun, and it can't do a lot of damage, you can need a lot of them, so they'll cost less points in game, so you have to buy more.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got like a Baneblade with all the guns in the world, you might only have 1 or 2 in your army, so they charge you more. Whereas the funny thing is, you look at a Baneblade, and I would say a Baneblade is no more complicated when you've actually built it than, say, a Valkyrie or something like that. But, of course, in the Baneblade box, you get all the bits for the other Baneblade variants, which makes it a bit more expensive anyway. So, but yes, it's based on the points.
See, I don't know the meaning of that word, variants.
Variants, no. You understand no such thing, do you?
Mandatory components, mate.
Yep. Mandatory.
Yeah.
Mandy who? Don't know the girl.
Yeah, never met her.
Never met the girl. I'm sure she's lovely.
She's here all week.
Here all week trying to fish. There's loads of bits on this gun that I don't know if it's an exhaust pipe or a container, so I don't know if they drill it out or not. There's little bits and things that could be like exhaust pipes, or it could just be a container, like a oil container or something.
Lynn's in with a belly and bench, pepperoni pizza, cherry Dr. Pepper. Good girl.
Cherry Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, what's the worst that can happen?
All right. I like Dr. Pepper. It's great.
Yeah, it's a nice drink.
Never tried cherry?
No. What was that other one? Was it Vimto or Tizer that was a bit like that?
There was Cherry Coke. I was big on Cherry Coke in the 80s. Oh, that's why I've got a can of it up on my shelf.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was the last ring pull can of Cherry Coke I ever bought. Because I bought it and the next day they were all pop tops, and I was like, oh, I've still got that one from yesterday. I'll keep that forever.
Yeah.
That was 1986 and it's still there on my shelf. And it still fizzes when you rattle it.
Oh, yeah, I bet you wouldn't drink it, though.
It's probably still drinkable, to be perfectly honest.
Probably doesn't taste much like what it was when it was made, if you're honest. But yeah.
No, I would suspect it probably just tastes exactly the same. It's probably still just as drinkable.
Yeah. Lynn says, Bench, I am still trying to find my tools. Has anyone seen Lynn's tools, folks? We're going to be sitting here now suggesting places that you go to look. You ain't left them in your old house, have you, Lynn?
I've come round to help you find your big tools. Oh no, all my clothes fell off. Sorry.
Oh no, I think she said that she's seen the box since she moved, if I remember rightly. But they'll turn up, darling. What you need to do is you need to start looking for something else. And whilst you're looking for that, you'll find your tools. That's what I try to do.
Yeah. Unless, of course, she's just procrastinating.
Yeah.
Putting it off and putting it off. Oh, I've got to find my tools. No, get to the bench. Get building. No
I've done
excuses.
it before. I've said, I can't find my drill bits. Can you get me some more? No worries. She goes and gets me some drill bits. Once I've used them, I open the drawer, go to put them away, and what is under that little bit of off-cut of paper? Drill bits. Really?
You go to put them away in the bit of the drawer where the drill bits go.
Yeah, it's like, really? I've got 2 lots. I went out, I bought some Redox primer and some plastic coat clear sealer. So I was going through the boxes the other day, having a bit of a move around to get to the cupboard. And when I went to put them away, what's in there? 2 bottles of red oxide primer and 3 cans of plastic coat clear sealer.
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah. So I'm now going to do an inventory list and have it on the desktop so that if I go to order something, I can check to see whether I've actually got it.
Willkommen auf dem Inventory.
Is that me being super efficient, do you think? Your little bit of you is proud of me there, isn't you? Mate, I've got 2 complete sets of Tamiya tape because I bought a set and couldn't find them. Refills.
Yeah. I don't know if I could be proud of that specific aspect of it.
You know, and I'm like, yeah.
But the fact that you can then turn it on the head and say, it's just a backup. I did it, so I've got a backup. That makes me proud.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got all of them now. It's like, yeah.
All the things.
Let's try and get that exactly where it needs to be, which is about there. There you go. It's a strange little gadget, isn't it?
You're a strange little gadget. See how fast I was then?
Oh, no.
I'm thinking there might be movements in a moment.
Oh, really?
So
she's
if I suddenly have to step away.
Buys. No, you do what you got to do.
I don't know. There were little noises, so it could be. Might not.
You're made of noises.
I certainly was this morning. Whew.
Yeah, H sent me to bed earlier. Will you go upstairs and have a kit? Should you minging you are? She says. I went, yep. But you still love me. She says, it's debatable. Some days I am really questioning why.
Yeah, don't tempt it, love. Just
don't like that. So let's cut that peg off.
Stop giving her ammunition.
Yeah. She does. She sits there some days. She goes, you don't help yourself, do you? I go, no.
No, that's what I said before, though. You've been married to her for 30 years, and yet every time you open your mouth, you find a corner you hadn't found before.
Absolutely.
You back yourself into it like a thing that backs into corners.
She sits there and she goes, for years, I've tried educating you. You still ain't learned, have you? I went, nah, it's an ongoing process, sweetheart.
Ongoing process. Which suggests at some point it will be actual successful, but it won't.
Of course it won't. No. She lives in hope.
It's a naive place to live.
Yeah. Well, she lives in something. I don't know, yeah, whether it's hope or not, but yeah, bless her. She's like, one day, and I go, yeah, keep thinking. I said, you sound like Del Boy. One day, Rodney, will be millionaires.
Millionaires.
The dreaded safe place, says Panzer. Yeah, tell me about it.
My chat's fallen over.
PJ says, to paraphrase a line from Fargo's TV show, he says, finding a 7th human foot in your toaster oven is strange. You two are just odd. Yeah, we are, mate.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, Ellen, she does. She just looks at me and she goes, are you bloody mental? And I go, what? Yeah, what have I done now? Edward Leonard says, Belly is a New York cheese pizza, bench cleaned and 1 alien completed for now. The second one is for me. It's getting put away. Beverages, even Williams, bourbon and beer. Oh, nice.
Ooh. Everything on my bench is, I have to reach around the camera to get to it. I don't quite have done that.
Oh, you're having a reach around, are you? Let's see what I did.
I've got the camera off to one side, but even then I still have to reach through the dangle arm or whatever.
Through the dangleberry.
Yeah. And also I redrew the dots on my map and used a really crap pen, so I've got a big blue inky smudge. Fantastic.
You're an inky smudge.
You're made of inky smudges.
Damn it.
No, you're ridiculous. You forget that's how you can end it all the time. You always win if you do that. Have I got a black pen?
Sure you have. I'm sure you have, mate.
I need that to dry for a minute. I have a black pen that I shall not expose the writing on.
What's the Harry? Oh, yeah, we're doing all right. Whizzed by, innit? 20. So what time do you want to go to tonight, geez?
It's up to you, dude. How long can you go for? 2 hours normally, you, innit?
How you getting on with your build? Because I can stretch till 2:30 if you need me to.
I've got all the bits ready.
What do you want to do? Stretch till 2:30 so you don't have to rush.
I'm working on your schedule, dude. Don't work long on my account. Keeping in mind that we'll sit there for like an hour afterwards and gas as well. So
yeah, but I'm feeling all right at the moment, to be honest with you. So
I shall follow your lead.
We'll go to 2:30 and then that'll be it. How's that sound, folks? I'll do a maximum of 2:30. I need, as you know, Fox, I need to push myself a bit, you know, because
I know, but not too far.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know I'm on reins still, mate. You know she.
Oh yeah, I'm holding them. I'm holding them as well. So.
She taps the wrist, and it's like, yeah.
What time? What? Your alarm normally goes off for 2 for H, doesn't it? So.
2:30, the alarm goes off. So yeah. So normally when she comes down in the morning, she likes me to be near in the end because she knows I've got meds to take, and she likes to check me back before she goes to work. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, if you didn't, she'd kick your ass.
Yeah, bless her heart.
All that other stuff aside, she'd just kick your ass.
Yeah. But no, we're getting there. We're you know, we've got some positives. We've had some positives this week.
Mm-hmm.
So
whenever an interviewer says to Colin, "What drives you?" and you just say abject fear and terror.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Oh yeah.
You met my wife.
I can always remember my brother, and he'll kill me for saying this. But I can always remember when one of our uncles died, we went up to the tailors to get our first handmade suits done. It's just a thing, you know.
Your first whistle.
Yeah, you know, so you always get handmade shoes. Handmade. It was just a thing we did way back when, you know, and it was paid for by your uncle. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you're of age now, boy. You go and get yourself a proper tailored suit and all. Anyway, long story short, the geezer's leant towards me brother and he says, "Right, mate." He says, "What side do you dress on?" And me brother just looked at him and went, "Normally in front of the mirror, mate."
Like,
I had that awkward moment where I had to educate my older brother as I leant in and said, "He doesn't mean that. He wants to know what side you hang on, mate." Yeah.
Yep.
It's none of his bloody business, he says. Pigeon head in shoe. It's like, dude.
You've never been to a tailor before, have you?
No, bless him.
I don't think I have a preferred side, to be honest. I don't think I have a side.
My brother is classic Trigger. And you know, he can be, don't get me wrong, he's an intelligent fella, but he's just got this monotone deadpan delivery, and he comes out with some one-line classics, and you're like, dude.
Is there an equivalent of Trigger's broom that's been with him for 25 years?
Yeah, I've had to. Well, he has actually. It's his Steve Davis snooker cue.
And he's changed the tip, the wood.
Yeah. You know, it has been. It's been re-tipped. It had a warp taken out of it. It's had new weights added to it, but it's as good as it was the first day you got it. I said, but it ain't because you've had to replace 2/3 of it.
Yeah. I've had this same cue for... No, you haven't.
Oh, mate, he is...
Special.
Yeah. It's a shame we don't get on better, you know, because we are quite an estranged family, as you know, and it's...
Yeah.
It is a shame because, like I say, there's been some classics he's come out with over the years. I hope before we get too old and too infirm that bridges can be rebuilt because,
yeah.
But it's like anything. As you get older, families drift apart, don't they? And you know.
Well, hopefully it can be.
Yeah, but
repaired.
Yeah. I think me mum does, bless her, because she's knocking on. But it's like I said, you know, at the end of the day, I just want to hear 2 words from him. I'm sorry. I said, and I've not heard them. I said, he knows why. That's between me and him. And that's it. But he's like me. He's stuck in his ways, and he's not going to admit that he was wrong. So
stubborn. Yeah,
and I'm not going to back down. So here we are.
Never the twain shall meet,
absolutely,
as they say.
But
Oh well.
But we was quite lethal when we was together, I must admit. Yeah, no.
I don't think.
Yeah, two East End brothers, you know what I mean?
Knowing what you've told me about your past, I really don't think.
We were pretty bad, mate. Yeah, it's... Yeah, and that's the thing with it, though, isn't it? With your families and that, you've got all of that shared history, haven't you? And don't get me wrong, some of it was great, but yeah,
that's the weird thing with our family, though. Our family it's strange. I've got two brothers, elder brothers, and you know, love them to bits and get on with them fine. But they were, by the time I became, you know, semi-sapient, when I was like, you know, 12 or 13 or whatever.
Yeah,
I wasn't just a child. They'd already like moved out and gone off to university and everything else. So
there's
I
an
don't
age
really
gap.
have that bond. I don't really have that bond with my brothers that much.
Well, with us, I mean, there's a year and 8 days between me and Tone. Kaz, Maz, Betty Rubble and Wilma, as we call them. There's a year and 16 days between them. But because personal reasons, we was always split up and living with different relatives to escape a problem at home. We never really formed that sibling bond because we was never in each other's company long enough.
Yeah.
So as adults, we put all of us into a room and the conversation only lasts a couple of minutes. It's, you all right? Yeah. You? Yeah. And then it's awkward silence because you don't know what to say because you can't relate to each other because when you it's rekindling old issues, isn't it? And
I mean, for us, it's more kind of like there's little conversation. I mean, we have conversational issues with us. It's more like, you know, we have no shared
interests
shared. Yeah. Oh, well, we do have a little bit. You know, one of my brothers can tell me all these stories about what he's been up to and stuff. And
my mum likens it to her and her older sister and brother when they were alive. She said because we was evacuated, being that we was the younger kids. She said they was of age. She said so they stayed to help mum and dad and keep the house going, and they was getting ready to go to work type of thing. She said so, which she never had that bond with her older relatives that she had with Winnie and Fred because they was all the similar age. So she said, I get why you lot have drifted apart. She said, because you was never really home long enough together to actually get to know each other.
Yeah.
You know, shouldn't it? Breaks her heart because she feels responsible. But
I mean, there's always a bond of family, and even, you know.
Oh, yeah, if I saw someone having a pop at me brother, I'd straighten them out because it's family, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, we always say it when we see each other. We should keep in touch more, but we never do.
No. I've got a tiny hole to drill.
You know, and like I say, you know, if he was in trouble, I'd be there, but
yeah,
it is that awkward situation. You stand there, weather's nice, you know, you're talking about meaningless stuff because you don't know what to say, and it's uncomfortable for me, it's uncomfortable for them. And
well, it's like there's no gap there when there's no hole there when they're not around, kind of thing.
No, that's it.
If you've got a relative that you really, you know, deeply connected to, there's a gap when they're not there. There's a hole that needs filling. But
yeah, the closest relative I had was my Uncle Ronnie because I was always at his gaff. You know, and he was proper door frame filler, or, you know, proper old East End crim, but that's him, you know. But he taught me the ways of the world. He was more of a father than my own was. And I had that immense respect for him, but God, if you crossed him, you knew it. But, he taught me LL&R, love, loyalty, respect. But, you know, our mantra almost, you know, and old London values. He drilled that into me as a young fella. And I passed that on to my boys. So he lives on in that respect. But I can honestly say me and my old man probably never said more than 3 words in a sentence together before it erupted into different problems, you know. And I never got on with him. He never got on with me. And do I miss him? No.
It's just the way it is sometimes.
Absolutely, mate.
With people.
yeah, you know, it's just how he was. And I can't see how he could justify how he was. But to be honest with you, I think it makes you who you are.
Yeah.
You know, I'm lucky with my sons. I've often said it in here. They're far better people than I was at their age. And they're the sort of blokes you'd be proud to have a beer with, folks. And I'm not just saying that because they're me boys. I genuinely am so proud of them both because they're really nice geezers.
I think a lot of it is to do with the environment and culture they grew up in. You know, the environment and culture you grew up in the 60s and, let's say 70s, is so vastly different.
Well, yeah, I mean, my boys were 20 and 18, and they sat down one day, and it was Cal that started it, my youngest fella. And he said, can I ask you a question? I said, I've always said to you, ask me anything, and I will never lie to you. I'll tell you the truth. You know, whether I've smoked weed, I didn't lie to you. I said, yeah, I got dash over there, you know, and because I smoked at the time. I never lied to them. And they was like, why'd you never mention your dad? So I told them about the past and all of that lot, and they was blown away. Yeah. And I was like, now we know. We'll never mention him again. I said, I'd appreciate it if you didn't. You never mention him when me sisters are around, me brother, and certainly not me mother. I said, that's why he's not spoken about, because he doesn't exist in our eyes, mate. He said, all right, no worries. So you asked, I told you. He said, I get you. He said, because you always vowed that us boys would never go through the upbringing you went through. He said, and I now know what you mean. Yeah, he now knows what that means. He said, but don't that make you the better person, Dad? And I said, what do you mean? He said, because you didn't end up like him. You broke the mould. He probably tried to justify his actions because he was brought up aggressively by his parents. He said, but you didn't do that with us. He said, so aren't you the better person? And I was like, actually, he is. I said, but actually, the better people were you and your brother. I said, because look at how you are. I said, you ask your mum and ask my mum what I was like when I was your age and what I was doing. Yeah, and it comes down to as well, you know, your dad was in that time when it was all firms and dog eat dog and that kind of stuff, and that his personality would have been there anyway. Oh, yeah. But he was in an environment where that personality was the dominant one. So, of course, it prevailed. But when you came onto the scene, that whole firm mentality thing, all that kind of stuff, that was going out of the way, and that was fading out. And you saw the world in a different way. Yeah, it was a transition period, mate, because, you know, the old... You know what I mean. Yeah, without going into details. Yeah, you know what I mean. So that old school... family mantra, is that a discreet way of putting it? Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, that way of life in the 50s and 60s. You know, I mean, was on its way out. To hypothesise or give a rough idea, you know, our family business back there was scrap metal. We all know about London and scrap metal dealers and people that did types of things. You know, that was the family back then, and it transitioned and people moved away from that life, but it was still there. Yeah, but you were seeing a new world coming in there where that old way of thinking wasn't acceptable anymore. Or wasn't different world, mate. So the people who had, say, your father's mindset, which is just the way they were brought up, and you know the way they were. It's that kind of mindset wouldn't have got the same traction they had in his day. Yeah. So even if you'd had the same mindset as your dad, you're in a different world completely, and it just wouldn't. Totally different world, and you can see beyond the horizon. Kind of thing. You don't want that life for your family. You don't want that life for your children. And no, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but in the modern world, it's of its time. It belongs in the past. It's a Noah's Ark, isn't it? And dare I say it, though, there are people that still cling to that, and that's what I find fascinating when I go back, especially for a family funeral, because it's always a traditional, black carriage, the horses with the plumes, all of that's proper traditional horse and carriage funerals, and the old the old values are there and the life.
Well,
and
they always will be with the older generation because it's
getting less and less now. And the younger generation, you see that difference, don't you?
Yeah, and the younger generation is your lads who've never experienced that old way of life and have no affiliation to it.
No,
and therefore it has no influence on them. It's no relevance to them. Their way of life is totally different.
I mean, me and my brother will always go to them funerals because we were of that generation and we was in the life, so to speak. My boys have never led it, and I've always said to them, you don't have to go. You don't know these people. So,
But I mean, I think, your generation is the one that was the first generation of that period and place where being the hard man wasn't important.
Yeah.
Whereas with your dad, for example, I mean, I don't know. I'm just analysing here and doing my fake 2-bit analysis.
No, you carry on, mate.
I would imagine, that whatever his mental state in his life, he was in this environment where it was always been. You've got to be a hard man. You can't be seen to be weak. You've got to be hard. And therefore, that's where, in that culture, that's where his way of behaving.
You couldn't let people take liberties. This was the thing, and this is what I was saying to you off air once. If someone had besmirched or whatever, if you let that go, I wouldn't say unpunished because I'd incriminate people. If you let it go or didn't straighten them out or didn't educate people, so to speak, allegedly, then other people would think that they could take liberties, and then before long, your firm or family power was diminished. And you couldn't have that. So that generation had to be as tough as old boots to survive.
They had to have hard as nails. And that's the whole point. But you were on when you came onto the scene, that was on the outs.
Of course it was. And rightly so.
Maybe not the first generation, but you were one of the first generations to actually be able to say, actually, you know what? No, this is nonsense. Maybe not consciously, but you saw a world beyond.
Oh, yeah, I was one of the first to move away from it. It's like, look, I'm getting married and I've got a babe on the way and I don't want the life for them.
Nope.
I'm not saying I want them to be better than you because that's disrespect. I just want something different for them. Yeah, I just want something different for them. I want them to evolve as the world's evolving. And they got it. And it was funny, we had a reunion about 10 years ago. It was like one of the comments was, "Can't believe you're still married to the same woman." And look how your lads have turned out. My two are in Belmarsh, so you made the right decision. And that was it. But it's interesting. I love the history of it, but go on.
I obviously have no knowledge of this world and I have no experience of it, but I like to, offer my theory as to what it might, how it works, and you can correct me. I have no standing on this matter, so I'm trying to understand a world I never knew, which is interesting to me.
It was a scary world if it went wrong, but it's one of those. And ordinary folk was a phrase that you would hear. You never took trouble to ordinary folk. It was your own kind, and that was it. Yeah. You never involved ordinary folk. You never took care of business publicly.
No, but it doesn't mean ordinary folk didn't live in fear of it. But
and that was obviously different areas and different people, and some people took it to the extreme, but.
It's a whole different culture, really.
Yeah. And then obviously the generation before that, you're talking of the era of the twins and that was a whole different ball game, isn't it? So, but that was the thing.
Let's get rid of this cough.
That generation was still heavily remembered when we was getting raised because they went away in the early 60s. So, I was born 67, but they were still relevant because it hadn't been that long. And the values that were around when they were still prevalent. Yeah. And there was a void waiting to be filled and no one quite knew what was going to happen. That's the best way of describing it.
It takes a long time for things to change. Things that have been around for a long time to change. It doesn't just happen overnight.
No. It's interesting.
Oh, yeah. Basically, what you're saying is in Dungeons & Dragons, you'd be chaotic neutral or chaotic good.
I would be a very mild-mannered, nice fella because that's what I am.
Chaotic neutral, maybe. I'd say chaotic good. Not purely good, but not chaotic evil.
All good fun.
You'd be on a redemption arc.
What are we saying? Lynn says, it's better tell wifey because she'll find out somehow. Absolutely. Because Edward says, sorry, not good girl, laugh out loud. Still didn't tell the wife yet. I found the crashed emergency pod with R2 and C3PO. Good diorama subject, so I'm happy that I found it. Good. He says, further up, he says, I was bored yesterday and all of a sudden I find myself ordering Star Wars Legions minifigures. Because it was the full Be With You sale, and I should have stayed off the computer, Edward.
Yeah, that would have been the right thing.
No, it's on the dolly where the nasty man made you spend all your money.
Yeah, show us on the dolly where the internet hurt you.
Yeah.
The Star Wars Legion figures are really, really good.
Yeah.
Some of the models.
So how much of your wage packet do you no longer have? All of it?
There's an image meme of it's a shot of South Park, and there's a guy at a computer saying, "Yeah, it's payday, and my wages have gone in, and I'm broke."
Oh my God, they killed Kenny. Yeah, I know a South Park theme. Yeah, good, isn't it?
You can't brag about South Park. It's not really the cool kids thing anymore.
I don't know. Can't. How long ago was it? It's got to be what, 20 years?
Yeah, it's probably still going, but it's not the cool kids thing anymore. It's not. Right, I may step away for a moment. Things are occurring.
No worries. I distinctly heard the door squeak there.
Yeah, back in 5 or 10.
What else is going on? Panzer said to PJ, that's where the single sock belongs, in his sock drawer. Absolutely, mate. Yeah, I would, Edward. I'd better fess up because it's funny. When H came back after been away for the night, I took a selfie of me touching the microwave and switching the buttons on and all of that lot, and thought it was really clever to post it on my Facebook group. Look at me, I'm playing with the buttons. But as soon as she came in, she said, "You all right?" I went, "Yeah, of course I am, sweetheart." Lovely. She said, "What have you done?" I said, "I may have posted a picture of me switching your microwave on Facebook because I thought I was being clever." I immediately just confessed. Lynn is asking me what I'm building. This is... Bear with me, I'll just get the instructions, love. Because I never quite get the name right on this one. I'm doing 2 little bits at the moment. The first one, the little guy in the background, him, he's a EndrinMaster with dirigible suit, like a little steampunk guy, with a little propeller thing and all of that lot. And then this spaceship is a stock gun hauler. And H got these because she likes steampunk, and I'm building these for H because she likes all of that stuff. So, yeah, that's what they are, darling. And they are a strange-looking gadget, but look, all the detail in it, all the different metals and paint effects and that, you know. So, yeah. She found them quite quirky, so that's what I'm building for her.
I'll be back in a minute. I'll just put you on full screen while I'm away.
Yeah, I know, mate. Yeah, I know, mate. I know you'll be back in a minute because you said, dude. She all right?
Yeah, it's fine. Just going to bed.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, she says, "Oh, I want to get that set." Yeah, H picked these up at Christmas. She said, "Oh, I bought you these." And I said, as soon as I saw them, I went, "Whereabouts in your cabinet are these going to live?" She said, "Next to that black coach you're going to build me." Yeah. So, yeah. So it's been suitably claimed. It's hers. And, yeah. So I'm literally where this was assembled last week, was it? I'm just now going around getting rid of all the seams and stuff like that and just battling. And then all of this stuff and all my Forge Weld and all of that lot is all going to get primed and prepped ready for paint, and then I can start painting these in Foxx's Warhammer streams and filming some of them as I go and putting them out as videos. All painting videos that I'm going to have on the channel and Warhammer section on there, and yeah. So that's what I'm building, love. And honestly, Lynn, they really are quite quirky little things to sit and build. Certainly a lot of potential with all the metals and stuff like that. So yeah, going to have a play with it. Lots of rivet detail and things. See where it goes. Lynn says, stay away from the computer, Edward. Yeah, Panzer says, but Edward, they are not Full.Build prices. Absolutely. You could use my Cromlech link, Edward. See what I did there? Plug for Cromlech, which is cheaper than Full.Build, but really nice resin, mate. That's what I meant to have said earlier, folks. Affiliate links are in the description if you want to save yourself a few quid, and it also helps me out. But yeah, Lynn, that goes together like so. See? Oh, it's all proper steampunk here now. I haven't glued this on yet because obviously underneath you've got all the different panel details and golds and brasses and rivets. So I want to be able to get round and paint all of that. And PJ's going to be proud because unlike the Stomper, I'm not gluing the arms on or thing. You know, sub-assemblies, mate. Listen to him. He's got a little dude in there that does the driving. So he lives in there. And then we'll go on that little stand that's in the background. So that's what that is. I've done all my Forge World, Lynn. She says, I don't think they ship to the USA. What, Warhammer? I honestly don't know, because everything's a bit tits up still at the moment over here. I've got stuff I want to send to America for some of my American patrons because, you know, I want to get their mugs to them and things like that. It's just getting stuff sent out from here at the moment just is a monumental nutache. So I don't know. I think I always thought Forge World and Games Workshop had places in the US where you could order direct in the US. I don't know. I'll have to do a bit of research for you, Lynn. Panzer says, wait, back up. We're supposed to listen to PJ. Apparently so, Panzer. I think we do it because it makes him feel better. Yeah. So that's what I'm up to, Lynn. And I'm literally going round and I'm looking at seams that I'm not happy with. And I'm just building them up with a little bit of... oh, she says the Cromlech, do they ship to the USA? I would have to have a look on their website, Lynn. Be honest with you, bitsofwar.com. Click the link, go on there and see whether they ship to the US, mate. I would have a look for you, but I'm live on air at the moment. So I'm sure if you check, have a looky-loo at their shipping section, it might say. I honestly don't know. But Cromlech are in, I think, Poland or Ukraine. Kiev, somewhere like that. So, honestly, don't know, mate. I'd have to have a look. Can't see why they wouldn't want to ship to the US, but... Lynn says, Games Workshop do have a site in the USA, a Warhammer store, yeah. Ledward says, yeah, in Nashville 10, Colin, Forge World, US. There you go. So, yeah. So... yeah, it's definitely worth having a looky-loo, Lynn, because yeah, and I've done quite a bit of their stuff now, and I do like it. Let's just build that up because I'm not 100% happy with that. So let's give that another cut. Let that set just to try and get that looking a bit sexier. Orcosaurus says hi, Lynn, with big hugs, dinosaur, and a smiley. I'll have a little look. You got me curious now, Lynn. Apologies for not being in shot, but I'm just having a look for Lynn to see whether Cromlech shipped to the US because she's got me curious, Lynn. Let's have a little looky-loo. See what we've got. Now, let's have a looky-loo. Because normally it'll just give you the international shipping, won't it? So let's have a look about us. Delivery information. Let's have a look. Standard. Yeah, they're in Poland. Let's have a looky. Doesn't say that they don't ship to the US. Yeah, they do. International orders can sometimes take a few weeks. Depending on the customs office at the destination, it'll take 1 to 2 weeks for the EU, 3 to 4 weeks for UK, USA and Canada. They also ship to Australia. So there you go, Lynn. Bit of a click on their website, gave me the information. Quite why you didn't want to do that. Yeah. But yeah, they ship to the US, Lynn. It's in their delivery information, right down the bottom of the page. There you go. Right, so we got that on there. Let's have a little bit more on that gun barrel, just to give that a bit of, just a little bit more smoothness. And it's just a matter of finding all the little bits that I'm not 100% happy with and just giving them a little dab. There you go. And most of this will get covered with primer anyway, but every now and then you just see something. She said, I just saw it, mate, thanks. No worries, love, but I thought, yeah, have a looky-loo for you. Yeah. And you won't be disappointed, and they are cheaper at Forge World. And they're resin. Have you got a respirator though, Lynn? You know, or a mask you could wear when sanding resin, darling, because you don't want to get the resin powder going in your chest, darling. Oh yeah, that's the only thing. Just treat it with a bit of.
And we're back.
Yeah, no worries. Everything all right?
Yeah, she's fine. She's gone to bed now.
Oh, happy days.
She's a long day today. She's done well.
Proud of her, mate. Huggages, massive hugs are issued. And if you've got a beer, Festa says she can have a beer as a treat.
She's got one left for tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah, I've hopped her up on painkillers, so she'll be all right.
Oh, bless her heart.
Dorkosaurus is in, but you probably know that.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm up to date on the chat.
Good lad.
Yeah.
Right, where are we?
We are.
My dude.
Yeah.
Have I missed anything of any great import?
No. It was just chitter-chatting, mate. You know what I'm like.
Chitter-chatting.
I talk for me country, mate. You know me.
Anyway, never mind all that rubbish. We did bench and belly, didn't we? But we never actually did our own benches and bellies.
I have a variety of spicy chicken wings and gubbins.
Ooh.
So
well, it's your Friday night variety selection, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Friday night selection box.
We had bangers and beans and mash last night.
Yep.
A couple of cups of tea, and I've got my bickies of bickiness. And I've got to stand, now that you're back, I've got to stand up because I might have forgotten. So should do a stand up in a sec, even though we've only got 15 minutes or so to go. But
don't mind, still got to do it. Nag. Belly for me was bench for me. Apart from this, I was doing some filming earlier for E.Models. A little video that should be out in the next few days. And belly was pizza tonight. Bog standard. Chicken.
I was going to say, I was about to say, you don't break the rule. I want full ingredients.
I was getting there. I was trying to think what they were. It was chicken and ground beef and meatballs and jalapenos and low-fat cheese, obviously, because you've got to be healthy. Tomato and mushrooms and olives and burger sauce.
Good ingredients list.
Yeah, not bad, eh?
Absolutely.
It's the burger sauce that makes it. It basically tastes like a giant Big Mac. This is. But I have to say, were you impressed with my dietary choice the other day?
Oh yeah, your bully rolls.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them? Do you want to tell them what my king food of kings was?
Oh, your sausage rolls. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that though, was it? It wasn't just that.
Trying to think what else was with it then.
What was behind the sausage rolls?
You know, I didn't notice. I just saw the 2 sausage rolls, mate.
Oh, Festa sent me a picture of his dinner, like sausage and... Was it sausage and mash?
Sausage mash, yeah, because I have to send him a picture of my dinner, see, because he...
Yeah, because I want to know.
He needs to know.
It's relevant to my interests. So he sent me a picture of his sausage and mash, and I sent him one back of mine. And it was late at night, and I was tired, and I couldn't be bothered. So I had basically 2 sausage rolls straight from the fridge.
Yeah.
They're just the ones that Mama Wolf likes. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go into student mode. So I just had 2 sausage rolls on a little plate and a tin of spaghetti hoops.
Oh, there you go, yeah. Yeah.
But, with a fork. Not cooked, just literally a tin of spaghetti hoops and a fork.
Do you know what I did last night? I had a late night cupboard raid.
Oh, are you a secret lemonade drinker?
I came across a tin of beans with sausages in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
and it was beans and sausages.
Oh, mate, it was like, I was like, nectar.
Was that cooked though, or was it just straight from the tin?
I had them straight from the tin, mate.
Good girl. Yes.
Yeah, proper blokey style. Just peeled the lid back, stuck a fork in it, and went and sat down. Carried on watching a bit of telly. Oh, mate, proper.
Do you know what's great for that, though? Then it makes you really wish they did bigger tins, is Heinz ravioli. Oh, just a tin of that.
Yeah, ravioli, now you're talking.
A can of Heinz. If you've never done this, folks, if you ever want a midnight snack and you've got like tins of stuff like Heinz spaghetti bolognese or Heinz ravioli in a tin or anything like that, you can do it with Heinz macaroni cheese, but it's not quite right, but it works. But any of the tomato-based tins like beans, tin of spaghetti bolognese, like I have with the spaghetti hoops, just wolf them down.
Yeah, what do beans mean? Beans mean Heinz. Yeah.
Beans mean farts.
Oh, mate, yeah.
Beans are good at a pinch, but raw beans from a tin will give you massive farts. It's quite good. Yeah. But yeah, if you've never done that before and you want to be a real student, just get a tin of something and eat it. I used to love like tins of Irish stew, just eat the tin. It was terrible. Yeah.
All day long,
it wasn't good. And then my dad used to go to Tesco's, and he used to go when he discovered they had a kosher shelf.
Oh, right, yeah.
When they started getting more international foods, and they had a kosher shelf. So he bought some stuff back from the kosher shelf, and I can't remember what they were. But one of them was this tin, and it was like, if you get proper Scots broth, and it's like, it's got the oats in it, and it's all like little floaty bits of oats and lamb and stuff. It was like that, but it was like thick and stodgy. It was dead nice. Can't remember what it was called. I missed that, whatever that was. But yeah. A tin of spaghetti hoops.
Oh, yeah. But, ravioli. I want ravioli now.
Tin of Heinz ravioli. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. You really have to get 2 tins because 1 tin just isn't enough.
No.
Oh, tin of Heinz ravioli. Just straight from the tin. Blah, la, 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 la. And it's even better if you put something in it, because the tomato sauce never tastes quite right if it's cold.
No.
It tastes a bit empty, so you have to put stuff in it like Worcester sauce or soy sauce or real tomato sauce just to give it some flavour. And what I was doing was I was getting my sausage rolls and dipping them into my can of spaghetti hoops. Mm. And when it got small enough, I'd scoop some spaghetti hoops out on my piece of cold sausage roll. I was such an animal. I'm just such a heathen. It's just great. It is the way to be.
I'll have to have a look in the cupboard. Yeah. I'll have to have a look in the cupboard to see if there's any ravioli there, because you know what'll happen.
Oh, can you imagine your absolute glee if you find that there is ravioli in them? You'd be like,
oh, mate, yeah, because that would, there's spaghetti hoops in there. I've seen them.
Oh, spaghetti hoops.
Yeah, that's just like,
cop a bit of something with some brown flavour, like a little bit of Worcester sauce or something, a little Liam Perrins or...
yeah.
Even, dare I say it, a tiny touch of Marmite.
I was just about to say, you know me, Marmite.
Yeah, Marmite might be the one.
It's always going to be Marmite.
Because they just taste they taste a little bland and watery without that little... If it was music, I'd say it's lots of top end and not a lot of bass. It needs some bass added to it.
Needs a kicker.
Yeah, needs a bit of bass on it. A little bit of bass, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You what?
Yeah, not a lot of bass, a little bit.
Just a tickle, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, just a tickle, it's fancy. Lynn Dipple says, are you standing? Looks like you are a good boy. I know, I'm really good, Lynn. Yeah, I am leaning on
everybody
the
likes
bench.
you?
Yeah. No,
he's standing near the lamppost.
rightly so. It's, you know, it is needed, and I appreciate people's concern.
You need to get a little model lamppost so you can say, I'm standing on the corner of a lamppost near the bed.
A little ukulele. I'm leaning on a lamppost. That's what I do.
Have yourself an egg sandwich. Right, that's that there. I might be able to finish this guy before the end of today.
I know. I'm watching you beaver along there, mate. I'm so proud of you.
I'm dashing through the snow, as they say.
Edward Leonard says beans and SpaghettiOs, drunk camping food. Yeah, definitely, Edward.
Ooh, yeah. Now, I didn't need to put the rubbish bipod on the end of his weapon because I just found I had an extra magazine.
Yeah.
So he's only got one gun there, but hey, just put an extra magazine. It's just it works.
You're made of bipods.
You're made of magazines. Dashing through the snow. I don't know what the other lines are. In a one-armed tortoise sleigh.
Yeah.
One-armed smelly what? Who?
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Yeah.
Dashing through the snow in a one-night Broadway play. Do.
I see what you do. You're good.
I don't know. Anyway.
Right.
Here you go. I've put a shoot. He's got a shooter on the back of his
shooter.
Shooter. I can't say it. I can't say it without sounding like a mong. You can say it. You got a shooter.
He got a shooter
on the back of his thing. You know what I mean? Know what I mean?
He's got a boom. He's got a shooter, isn't he? Not one of these namby-pamby little Wazzock shooters, mate. It's proper shooter, isn't it?
Not some little crappy pop gun.
Yeah.
When I try and do a proper like East End gangster accent, I just can't do
it. You would have loved my Uncle Ron, mate. He sounded just like Ray Winston. Mind you, it just sounds like how I'm talking, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't stand Ray Winston though.
He's a lovely fella.
I know. Every time I see him in a film, I'm like, oh, he's going to be playing Ray Winston in a film because he just plays himself.
He's like that in real life. Not that I'm name dropping, but yeah, he's a lovely fella, mate.
I know. It's just I can't stand him in film. If he's in a film, I'm like, I don't want to watch it now. It's like put Steve Coogan in a film. I'm not going to watch it.
I met him at Dave Courtney's gaff, and absolute.
Who's Dave Courtney?
He's a celebrity villain. It's the best way of describing him.
It's a bit like if you told me Steve Coogan was in a film, I'd be like, oh no, thanks.
Yeah, because he's Alan Partridge all the time, isn't he?
Yeah, although I think for me, possibly it's also because I'm not really into that kind of London gangster film. It just doesn't interest me at all. So
no.
The old Lock, Stock style. If it's like not really my kind of film.
Yeah, I get a bit peeved at how they portray it. Does that make sense? Because, all right, I know it's putting bums on seats and all of that lot, but it's a bit like an episode of EastEnders. It's all doom and gloom, isn't it? And it's like, none of the mischievous spirit. You know what we're like with our childlike mischievousness. That's what you get in an household full of Londoners. They're all trying to throw each other under the bus, but you've got a lot of joviality as well as serious life.
Yeah.
And you don't see that. It's all doom and gloom and clouds of doom over people, and it gives me the ump. And I wish in the gangster films they showed more of the day-to-day real life stuff. You know, the good that people do, not only the bad. You know what I mean?
I think for me, it's not a condemnation of the lifestyle. It's just those kind of films have never interested me. I had to sit through In Bruges once. And I was like, God,
I mean, you sit through some of them and you go, really? They're having a bubble here, because that ain't how it was.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, and you sit there and you're like, it's a bums on seats film. But the problem is the layman's going to believe that that's what it was like, and. You do sit there sometimes cringing.
Always like now, and you think,
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's like the whole stuff from the 90s rather than name it, but, you know, there were well-documented things that happened back in the day. And you see constant films about that era, and you're like, you know, it's been done to death. But two, a lot of it is how can we say?
Mockney. It's Mockney.
Yeah,
fake.
it's over exaggerated to sell the movie.
It's caricatures.
Yeah, that's it. Caricatures of yourself.
Well, I suppose it's no different to like
stereotypes. Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's like stereotyping it. It's what people think it was like rather than what it was actually. It's like I suppose if you. It's like when you see like mob movies set in New York in the 80s and 90s, and you're like, and people will be like, it wasn't really like that. But you have a certain expectation of a mob movie.
Well, it was like all the Goodfellas films and that, and the people that went through that were like, some of it was accurate, but, they missed an opportunity of showing the humane side of a villain. It may sound really strange, but... there is a moral compass in there somewhere. And I think if they was to investigate the whole mantra side of it, people would get it.
Yeah, it's like, they're off, you're just portrayed as a two-dimensional bad guy and that's it. Whereas,
absolutely,
actual real villains are actually a lot more complicated than that. They do good things. They're still bad guys and they're still evil villains, but at the end of the day, they don't just walk around twirling the moustache. They do other stuff as well.
A classic example of that would be something like the Hells Angels or other motorcycle clubs, the MCs.
Yeah.
People see or read, and it's only ever the bad, but they don't go into some of the good that these organisations do.
Yeah.
And I think a lot more of that could be portrayed. But the trouble is, it isn't going to put bums on seats to see a gangster film, is it? Oh, look at them giving out presents at Great Ormond Street. It's not the same as someone getting a dry slap and the taste beaten out of their mouth. It's not the same.
Yeah.
There you go.
For some reason, Edward says gefilte fish. Oi!
Yeah, there you go, mate. Look at that. Oh,
you got a wee little floaty dude.
Yeah, do you like my how to hold him up whilst he's gluing to the stand, prop it up device, 3 sanding sticks?
Do you know, funnily enough, I often find sanding sticks are the perfect job for things like that. I often find that a lot of Games Workshop stuff just happens to be about the height of 1 or 2 or 3 sanding sticks.
The other one isn't glued on the stand. That's a resistance fit. That's got a good tit on it, that one. It's a bit stiff. But... yeah, and I can break that down into sub-assemblies. This one I just assembled because it's going to go in the old hand grip thing.
Hand grip. Yeah.
But so that's them done. I managed to get 2.5 hours out of a dude, mate. Are you proud of me?
I am, and I think I have actually finished I've not finished them completely because I've still got some like flying bullet casings to stick on some of the guns, but I'll do that some other time. I'll do it later.
Yeah.
I think I've basically finished this guy now.
I'm proud of you, mate.
But only because I did a shortcut. I couldn't be bothered giving him another arm holding onto this weapon. So I made the weapon arm with the hand grip.
Yeah.
And then this arm, I took the arm from the captain where he's waving a pistol. What are the guns called? They're not...
Don't wave that gun at me.
I think these are just shooters.
Shooters.
I think shooters are just basic pistols and stuff. So he's got a shooter in one hand. And therefore he's holding that one. So, I think I've just about done him. I've put his bits on his back. Done.
Look at that.
Done.
Edward says if it works, Cole, it's perfect. Laugh out loud. Looks really good.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, I like these little things purely because it lets me have a play with some of the different metallics and stuff. And, it's something for the other half because, it's a bit steampunky and that's right up her street. So,
I've just realised I've missed one thing off one dude from weeks ago.
Does this mean... excuse me.
Steady nurse.
Does this mean that H is down the hole?
Well, it depends.
Teetering on the edge.
Do you think there's ever a possibility... Oh.
Yeah, carry on.
Do you think there's ever a possibility that you'd be able to convince her to try building one or painting one?
No.
Not even building one, just building one?
No.
No?
No, she's got zero interest in that. She likes to see the finished thing and, she finds the whole process interesting, but she wouldn't have... I wouldn't say the patience, because she's the most patient person in the world. 34 years with me, she's got to be.
Yeah, patience of a saint, mate. It's not even worth going there.
But I think the whole thing, that side of it, doesn't really interest her. She wouldn't be absorbed into it,
I think it's ever worth trying it just to see what she does. Mind you, with her hands, would she be able to do it?
That's the thing, you know. It's like she says, you know, it's a bit like her asking me to do cross stitch. She says, how much of you would be sewn to the thing that you're supposed to be stitching? She said, I wouldn't be able to leave you alone. You'd have webbed hands, be like a spider's web. You'd sewn your fingers together. So, you know, it's an interest. I'm interested in.
In that case, we definitely have to get you doing cross stitch.
Yeah, she's interested in what I do, and she finds it intriguing because, like, it's that before and after. And she's like, "How the hell did you do that?" Yeah. She finds the whole weathering process and all that. She finds all of that fascinating. How you can get plastic to look like wood, rusty metal. She finds that really interesting. Dioramas, you know, little scenes and that. She loves all of that.
It might be worth just planting a little seed because you never know. One day she might be like, "Well,
no, I have done, mate. I've said, well, build it yourself." I ain't effing doing that. That's what you're there for. So I've got no interest in sitting there doing it myself. She said, "That's what you're there for."
Nah,
you know, and you know, it's like anything. You know, it's just not something she wants to do.
I'm going to zoom in and show you this. This heavy shoot, the big shooter.
There you go. Go full screen, mate. Hold up. Where's my mouse? There you go.
You took me off it.
I haven't pressed any buttons yet because I haven't got my mouse. So don't blame me, mate.
Okay.
My mouse is on top of my computer, mate.
It's probably still your fault anyway. Right, so...
Yeah, it's always my fault. It's never yours, mate, because you don't make mistakes, do you?
No, I don't. I'm a queen. I'm a princess.
It's because you're a guru, you know.
That's shut up. How orky is that gun, though? It's got a big, massive, dirty, great big barrel on the front.
That's the sort of gun I'd have as my discreet sidearm.
Yeah, 3 separate magazines. And it's for no reason at all. It's got an engine on the back, but I don't quite know what that engine's for. It's just there.
That's when I lean over and in your ear I whisper them immortal words. I've got a concealed weapon.
Steady, Maris. I like to think the entire purpose of that engine system there is purely to just put exhaust out of the exhaust and do nothing else at all.
I think it's brilliant. I love this quirkiness about these things because these are all details that you wouldn't normally notice.
Yeah. So I should zoom back out again.
And it's the madness of it, isn't it?
It's just nonsense, isn't it? That's why I like orcs. I say I've not minded building them once I've figured them out, and you do have to take a lot more time to build these. It's a slower build than everybody else, but if I was just sat by myself listening to podcasts, I'd probably be quite happy. But doing it on a live stream, I'm kind of bored of them now. I've been doing it for 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm going to leave the other 5 that I've got in the other set for now, because these are going to go with my squig off when I eventually get around to the squig off. So it'll be a squad, 2 squads of 5, 2 captains, 4 dudes. So I'm going to put these aside. I've got a foam tray for them. And I think next week...
my squig off box out the other day just so that I could start going through the bits to see what bits I've got for it and anything else I need to print.
You were just looking at squig off bits, weren't you? Be honest.
No, I have several strips of Tamiya tape covering the widge, mate. Because every time I look at it, I hear the Jaws music. Yeah.
I just love this idea where you can go out to the living room one day and H will be like, "So what have you been doing today?" You don't want to know what I've been painting. Just don't ask.
When I sit there and explain to her how I managed to get a pin wash in around the end of a squig's widge, she's just going to look at me going, "I think I need to get you out more." You know?
Here you go, H. Have a look at this. I need you to tell me if it's the right colour or not. What do you think?
So how did you do that? Well, I used several blends and I went in with my really big magnifier, which I'm trying desperately not to think about getting the Optivisor out. I was going to actually have it upside down under the microscope, but that's just too much of a trauma.
I think that's too much for the viewers, never mind for you.
Well, this is it. I mean, could you imagine this is what we've got to be careful of, painting it on screen. Would we get a hit with painting squig widges?
No,
I don't know.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, it's not like Cyberpunk Widgegate then?
No, that's an actual beepis, so, you know, that's.
Yeah.
I don't think it counts. But I think we should definitely make sure in our videos of painting the squig, we should definitely have a section where we have a close-up view of us painting the widge. In this 45-minute episode, we're painting one single part.
Just for Edward, I'll paint the widge under the microscope.
The thing is, though, are you going to add the other part of the deal?
Yeah, I'm getting some. I've got some green scuff. Yeah, he's got to have a nut bag, mate.
Yeah, I say, because he's got the wedge, but there's no other bit of action going on.
Yeah, he's got. I don't know why I'm doing that, but yeah.
Oh, you know exactly why you're doing that.
Have a parent. A bit woody, a bit. Yeah.
I'm not going to add any because I'm not that good at sculpting. But
yeah, you know the part I'm not looking forward to putting the creases in, mate.
Oh yeah, because if I do it, they'll just come out looking like poop bags, like the poop bag I make, which is whatever.
Yeah,
it comes out looking like a doggy's poop bag anyway.
Yeah, I mean the easiest way around it is just get a little bag in, put a couple of shaking balls in it, and just whop it up under there. Yeah. I don't know. I think it looks a little bit odd that he hasn't. He's got the brooch, but he ain't got the pearl earrings, has he? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
He's got the chopsticks, but he's got the chopsticks, but not the dim sum.
Exactly, you can't have one without the other. You know, that's like bloody Malcolm without Y's, isn't it? You know. But anyway, Edward says dry brushing will be followed. Oh yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Highlighting, edge eye. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there'll be all kind of like. Oh, don't forget, of course, once it's finished, you've got the whole thing matte varnished. You're going to have to put a little bit of a glossy finish on that bit.
I'm going to have to put a little bit of hard coat on the end just to make it moist.
Just to make it hard coated.
See what I did there?
You see what I did there? Yeah. Because it's obviously going to be not matte. Maybe you could even give it a Yoo-hoo glue drip. No, let's just stop now.
Edward says, nutbag, he says, is internal as far as he's concerned. I am not sculpting ball sacks. Edward, you know you want to.
But then again, you see, hang on, they are fungus, so they wouldn't have them. The wedge might not be for reproductive purposes. If they're funguses, they're spores. So
yeah, it might be solely for expelling of fluids.
Yeah, so maybe they don't have testosterone.
Yeah, but I just want to see Edward's face when he tunes into a frolic, and I go, and on the end of this cocktail stick, Edward, is my nutbag for my squig off. Look at the detail. Look at the creases.
You just want to have a video of you with two balls in your hands going like that.
Bit weird. Lynn says squigs wedge. I haven't seen one before. Oh, Lynn, mate, honestly. We'll dig the squig offs out, and we'll do a late night wedge fest because
it's the one bit of the giant squig-off that Forge World somehow never managed to tell anybody is on the model.
And it's the level of detail that they've managed to get in there, and it's like
let's sculpt that.
It's a proper one-eyed lipstick going on, love.
See, I wonder if the person that sculpted it put it on there and thought it wouldn't survive the double checking process, and somehow it got through.
Yeah, I think that Edward says, I'm glad I didn't spend too much time on that area. You could have ground it off and said that it was a lady squig off.
Lindipple says, what set is it on? It's the giant, if you go onto Forge World, it's the gargantuan squig off.
Yeah. Out of interest, do the Norzillas have wedges? There's a thought.
I don't know. I've not got one. Or have I? Did I get one? No, hang on.
That means I'll have to order one then, won't it? Yeah.
Wait, I've just realised something. It's got to the point where I don't actually know what I've got in my stash anymore. I don't know what I've ordered. If I've ordered a Norzilla or not. I don't think I have. Have I? No, I don't think I have.
Not on my link, you haven't, because no one else. Mine's still empty.
No, I haven't ordered anything from them since you got your link, actually. Yeah. I'll order some stuff, don't worry.
That's all right. I'll stream you through the tears.
It's all right.
Yeah. But on that note,
no, I didn't. I got the other squig off from Forge World, didn't I? That's why I've got two squig offs.
Yeah, you got the accompanying one, haven't you?
Yeah, the normal size one. Yeah, so Lynn, it's the Forge World gargantuan squig off.
I am tempted to get a Norzilla just to do one because it's going to seem strange having a squig off and nothing with it. So
yeah, I'm probably going to get one just because they're awesome to look at.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a lot of that Cromlech stuff just to build and paint because it looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, I mean, you've seen what I've been building of theirs over the last few weeks. It's really good stuff.
Don't forget, folks. There is a link to Cromlech in the description below this video. Yeah. Colin, of course, is an affiliate. There is a link and a code. So if you want to go and get some awesome resin models from Cromlech, use the link in the description below this video,
and
or
you
use
get
Festa's code.
Money's off. Discounts.
Yeah, you get 5% off. And it makes a little bit of money for Festa, so there you go, ka-ching for everybody.
You're doing your good. You're doing your bit.
I'm earning my wings. There
you go. Right, mate, I suppose.
Not as mercenary as you thought.
Oh, I don't know, mate. You can.
It's all about family, mate. Family and honour and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? What we were saying earlier.
Yeah, I'll have me fiver back, he says. Yeah. So, yeah. So on that note, folks, we're going to love and leave you and let you get on with the rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow for a bit of the old Warhammer.
Yes, I shall be booking that in later on tomorrow morning. So that'll be on at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Yes. We're clashing though, aren't we? No. We'll be fine. No, right, fine. Go for 9 o'clock tomorrow, like last week.
Yeah, and we'll see you for that one. And then I'll be back for my festering friends at the bench at 2 p.m. on Sunday, people.
Yes.
So we'll catch you then. In the meantime, thanks for your support. Thanks for joining us both. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Adios, amigos.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best.